We're live. What's up?
Did you guys know I just got a phone notification that the world famous Dust Devil Garage just went live on YouTube?
The world famous.
Hello, Wilbur. Colleen.
Oh, John's in there?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Dark Sport.
Do you have John's email address?
Yes, I do.
Send him a link if he wants to jump in. If not, that's cool. I don't care. I don't give a. Oh. No, the end of what I said at the end of this last video is going to be funny as shit,
Yes.
but because I'm leaving that in there, Jed.
I don't even know what I couldn't tell if you could hear anything I was saying or not.
I don't know, but I don't care.
We heard it.
We heard it, so.
Dart Sport.
It is Dark Sport. This is a duster.
Williams got the Dart Sport.
Yeah, I got the Dart Sport.
Or you're not still on my oh, what the fuck?
Your Facebook?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. So send John a link if he wants to come in.
Wilbur?
If not, no, Wilburn and Cope.
Oh.
I mean, if not, that's cool. I completely understand. We're not as cool as John Wilburn getting the world famous John Cope in our live.
I know.
We did.
Oh shit. So what's going on with you fellers?
Who are you talking to?
You two guys.
You should be talking to chat. Wait.
I don't talk to chat in here hardly at all. I can't look at chat. She looks at chat. And I do the talking to you fellers.
Okay, fine. Since I'm right here and Williams doing something, I don't know.
Trying to bring up a picture.
Williams I'm not going to go there actually right now. I found out today that neither my brother or I, as a team or as individuals, can make a proper smiley face. Which you guys know what I'm talking about, but nobody else does.
Well, you put it on Facebook, did you? Or was it just in Discord?
Just Discord.
Oh.
I haven't been sharing updates on the Barracuda on Facebook too much.
That thing's going to be mean, I think.
Well, we got the pinion angle set pretty aggressive. I talked to my buddy Rodney Bird about the pinion angle, and I felt like it was going to be pretty damn aggressive at 8 degrees down. He said, leave it. We can always shim it up or down from there. Yeah, because the pinion is currently 8 degrees facing downwards, but also our transmission is only 1 degree down, and our drive shaft was like, I want to say the drive shaft was like 2 degrees down too. It's all wrote down, and we ran it through the calculator, so it's all good working angles for the U-joints. But according to Rodney, something along the lines of, and also the reading, that more aggressive that pinion angle is downwards, the more bite it'll have.
Huh.
Supposedly. I mean, I also talked to my buddy Billy about it, and he said 8 degrees down is getting into wheelie territory, which he says is a bad thing. I'm like,
wheelies. But now, see, I always thought that you wanted it down because when it goes, everything torques up, and when it's hammered, everything would be perfectly in line.
Yeah. And ultimately,
but you know, like I said, there's probably there's people who know a hell of a lot more about that kind of shit than me.
Oh, and me too. That's why
I don't do informative videos. I do, hey, look what I did videos.
Hey, we got a Tall John.
Hey.
I love that guy.
Whoa, Tall John, why don't you jump in here? The link's in Discord. I love you, Tall John.
We all love you.
I just got a Photoshop program and just finished up a new thumbnail for the No Name National burnout video.
That looks really good.
I like that. I like that. I like that program. I'm thinking about buying that.
I highly recommend it.
It's got a video editor on it too.
I was able to select just the car, brighten it up a little bit, and darken the background just a little bit, just to make the car pop a little bit more.
I'm gonna have to move this camera.
Oh,
This is just it's too weird. I like looking at the screen too much.
it's still a good angle.
Oh yeah, see, I can go over here. You guys can see the big tires. Big
Yeah.
sticky Audi tires that Steve Bignante really likes. Oh, I'm covering them up now. Oh well.
Dang it, Brian.
Okay, told John said he's at dinner with friends. Be about an hour, he hopes.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be here. Yeah, hurry up. Eat. Get your fucking food eaten.
Why are you?
You got friends here too.
Yeah.
I'm
We're
just
your real
fucking-
friends.
We love you, Tall John. Oh, see, now I can read chat and still look not like I'm aloof. What does that
I got-
word mean?
It's
Did I use it
hilarious, I'll
right?
tell you. When I was right before we went out to head for dinner, a buddy of mine called me, and you all know which buddy I'm talking about. And he asked me, "So how's the car coming?" And I told him, we just welded the perches on. Oh, what'd you set your pinion angle at? It's about 8 degrees down. Oh my God, that's so much. And went on this freaking tirade about 5 degrees down and max. And maybe 7, but 8 degrees. It's like you go that extra degree. Oh, it's all gonna come apart.
Well, I mean, the thing is, yeah, 1 degree can mean something.
Oh yeah, 1 inch
And
makes
I'm
a
sure
world
there
difference.
is one point where 1 degree it'll all come apart. But if other people have said they run theirs at 8, then
And it's nothing a shim won't. I mean, you can get a 1 degree wedge off of
Yeah.
700 jigs, and we can correct it. I mean, what my buddy Rodney was telling me is we need to just put a GoPro in the car and race it, and we'll make sure that the rear end is doing what it's supposed to and unloading. And it might need more.
well, yeah, and you got GoPros. I don't know if you have sacrificial GoPros, but you have GoPros.
Yeah, I'll sacrifice my 7s, but yeah, 5 degrees is a good starting point. But I figured, I mean, Rodney said 8 was good because our transmission's almost dead level. It's only 1 degree down, and he said that was going to help us.
Oh, we got
Oh.
a Wilburn.
Uh-oh.
The man, the myth, the blank
Hey.
orange paper.
What's happening, gentlemen?
Not much. I still see that the orange paper's blank.
Still blank.
All
I've
right.
got I got a few minutes. I'm working on something, and it is No Name Nationals related. So I'm trying to get it done by tonight, hopefully. But anyway,
What is it? Is it
it's
secret?
stuff.
Is it all
You'll see.
secret?
You'll see.
Everything's secret now.
Well, you'll see.
I'm
Hey,
going
John.
to just send Wilburn an email
Why?
because Colleen Tebow is requesting the sleeping bag worm video.
we got.
Oh,
We need to put that on my channel.
oh yeah, that's on Sherry's channel.
Oh,
isn't it?
Sherry's channel.
Yeah, it's on my channel.
I saw Colleen's comment, and I was sitting there trying to think, what the hell was she talking about? Now it's like, oh, now
Now
I
you
know.
realize what it is.
Yeah.
We'll move that because that's like a short, isn't it?
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
it as a short.
We'll move it over to my channel. Hell, we might give it to Jed to put on his channel. I'm sure the person who's involved in that video would love for it to get as much exposure as possible.
That is true.
Oh,
Hey, John,
yeah.
I put something together, the shirt that I'm gonna wear for the next No Name Nationals.
Oh, I like that.
He is the burnout champion.
That's how to have a target on your back. Make sure everybody knows it.
Oh yeah. Man, I can't wait.
That'd be a good time.
Can't wait to actually be there with a running car.
No kidding.
Dead air, dead air.
I didn't do it.
All right, I'm watching the short over and over again.
Oh, okay. Oh, can we put that up here? We got to be able to put it up here.
What if we took that and we put it on a loop, so it's just constantly doing that, and we put like some fat technical behind it.
Or it's even better, just put
Bring
it,
it up on.
have
bring
it
up on-
forward and then backward, and then just put it back to back, so it's just forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward.
Oh boy, I think that'd be awesome.
Oh, hey, wait, he's on the road right now, isn't he?
Yeah,
He
he'll
probably
be
not
at my
even
place
watching
on
this.
Monday.
That's great.
Peckerwood Customs. The answer is yes. You'll need whatever number that number is. It may not be 500.
Yeah, well, we're all going to know everything within a month, right? Hopefully.
We hope to make an announcement but by December 9th, hopefully. Could be as late as December 31st. We just have to get everything together.
Okay. Is anybody planning? Because I'm thinking about doing it. But is anybody else going to do a New Year's Eve live?
Dallas and I were going to do one last year, and he wound up getting COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
We were going to make an announcement last year for New Year's Eve, but
Yeah, I
Good
remember.
I don't know.
Well,
We
that's the
might,
thing.
but-
If you guys do an announcement on New Year's Eve, if I have a live going, I'll pause it and send everybody
Yeah.
over to yours because this is going to be. I think that there's a lot of people right now just itching to know. You know what I mean? Because it was one hell of an event.
That is true.
I got it playing.
Okay, you got to
So
play
Now
now.
I'm
What
gonna
you?
go back to StreamYard.
Yeah, and then you go down to present, yeah, and it says and then share screen, and then Windows tab or Microsoft Edge tab.
No, because I've
It's
got it as an open window.
I'm not going to argue, but the Microsoft Edge tab would have done the exact same thing. It's not showing me. Oh, there it goes.
Oh.
What's it doing?
Yeah, we can make that better.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. We got to edit.
Send it to me, and I can make it. Send it to me, and I can do something with it.
Oh yeah.
Mark's sitting there all wrapped up, Mr. Bigfoot's and Mopars.
Oh yeah, you see him laying down there at the bottom. I can't believe they thought they were all going to sleep outside. That
Oh,
lasted
we
all
all did.
5 minutes.
We all thought we could sleep outside that night.
Well,
I
I
was
was just going to sleep in the truck.
Jay
I was all
bailed
curled
on
up
it.
in Jezebel. That was a bad idea. See, I've already got it planned out. The Barracuda, the passenger side of the footwell is almost flat enough I can lay all the way across. So I think if I bring enough padding, I can build a bed in the Barracuda and just have about 20,000 blankets. I can sleep in the Barracuda.
That sounds like a plan.
Well, it depends on the date. It depends on the date.
I'm also going to put a
I know
padlock
John
in it.
said that he wants to keep it around the same time and around the same area.
Yeah.
But like 2 weeks before that, it was hot.
Yeah, it's true.
And the weather, it really in this part of the country, you never know.
Yeah,
Right.
especially that time of year.
It could be perfect. It could be hot. It could be cold.
I mean,
I
it was
think during the
perfect
day, the weather was perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, during the day it was perfect. Just at night it got a little chilly.
Yeah, we just had to run the heat and almost asphyxiate ourselves sleeping in the truck.
wasn't bad. I mean, by 9 a.m. it was t-shirt weather, so
Oh yeah.
wasn't bad.
It wasn't like this.
Yo.
Oh, I was wondering, and I sent him an email. I don't know if anybody has been in touch with Lunar. Is he up there where all that snow hit?
It says Western New York. It's pretty close
It's up
to it.
by Buffalo, I think. No, yeah, Buffalo was the
He's
main,
near Troy.
I don't know where that is,
Let's see.
but I know they're saying south of Buffalo got 6 feet of snow.
Ooh,
That's hard to even fathom.
It is. The
good
pictures.
God.
There's the funniest thing I seen was a car, and you see just the little top part of the car, and it looks like another car on top of it made of snow.
I think it's farther west than him because he's a little farther west of Lake Ontario than where that was hitting. So
Okay.
I don't think
know
he got
because
all that.
if you look at his videos, it looks like he might be out in a rural area.
He is.
And
He is.
I could just imagine being out in a rural area and having 6 feet of snow, and you ain't going nowhere for a month, or longer.
I remember it took about 3-4 days to get out, and we had 3 feet of snow. I remember that in '93. That snow was deep. It was real. I had 3-foot fence posts I just put in, and the snow was over the top.
Wow.
Man.
36 inches of snow on the ground.
That.
The most I've ever seen is probably like 1.5 feet. I cannot even fathom 6 feet.
I got a picture somewhere of 3 feet of snow on my 70 Dart. Completely disappeared. Completely. You can see the shape of the car up in the air above the 3 feet of snow.
Yeah, that's the way. But this is 6 feet of snow. The pictures I've seen. So on top of the car is like a 6-foot car.
Think of all the trees that fell through people's roofs and their cars.
Just think of the roof that just collapsed with all the weight.
Yeah. Well, it's 6 feet of snow. I think I'd have been getting real nervous after about 2 feet going out there trying to use ropes to get the snow off. Because if you wait for all 6 to pile up, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
What were they saying? They were saying at times it was falling 5 inches an hour.
Tucker was rubbing it in. It's 91 there today.
He don't get snow. Well, it's summer there for him, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh my God. You want to talk about something? So when I was talking to Rodney today about the rear end, I almost told him, dude, it's hard to stay friends with you because he bragged that he was at a swap meet in Georgia and it was upper 50s and he was in a t-shirt with a light jacket on. He was sweating. It's like, I've got long-legged underwear on, 3 different flannel shirts, a jacket, and it's still not great.
Yeah, Aaron says he's never seen snow.
What?
It doesn't snow in Australia.
Are you serious?
They're real close to the equator.
We need him to come visit all of us in the wintertime.
Oh my God, he'd die.
He'd die, yeah, well. Well, that was the whole thing because the first No Name Nationals date was at the end of August, right?
August 26th and 7th.
Yeah, and they had all these people coming from Arizona. Oh, I'm used to heat. Yeah, you ain't used to that Southern Missouri humidity, though.
Nope.
I would have been fine, but them guys would have died.
Used to it.
90 degrees with 0 humidity feels really different with 90 degrees and 100% humidity.
That's what I was going to say, because I felt 110 degrees out there with no humidity. It's a whole different deal.
Yeah, but once you get up to 125, when I was out in Phoenix, 125 is hot, okay?
Humidity or not.
Yeah, humidity or not, 125 is, and it was that way for a week. But yeah, the guy who was NSB, if they'd have come up at that time, they'd have been fine. Florida gets more humidity than here.
So Dean's brother was cleaning water out of the house a foot deep out of his living room. I mean, it was a mess. They got the hurricane. They got hit hard. It still came up because it's like, you know what? We got family watching the house. There's nothing we can do here for a little while. So,
well, hell yeah, that kept them out of it.
But by having the cars in the trailer for the event, it's what kept the cars from getting flood damage because they would have gotten flood damage if they hadn't been in the trailers.
Should have just went around that way. It's a lot easier. Oh man. So, what else is new? I've been doing some work on the car today. I was kind of late on getting a video. I'll probably get one out, have it out tomorrow.
What's up with that blue seat cover, Brian? I thought it was purple.
It's purple. It looks blue on camera. it just looks blue. No, I got the dash back out of it and the
Yeah.
steering column back. I had her filming taking the dash out. And I did a whole thing before. I was like, yeah, you just got to loosen. If you take these bolts out up here, you just got to loosen these other bolts. You don't have to take them all the way out. And I'm like, and I looked, and the two bolts that hold the steering column up were coming through. So I'm like, well, maybe I do got to take this one side out. So I took the one side out, and I'm loosening up the other side, and she's filming, and all of a sudden the dash just falls on everything. I'm like, yeah, we're leaving that in. That's pretty funny.
That's great.
Want to know how the temperature around me for Thanksgiving?
It's supposed to be
No,
nice.
really?
It's supposed to be in the
60.
50s. Oh, you asshole.
The current high for Thanksgiving on me is 60, with a 40% chance of scattered showers.
How are we supposed to stay friends with that kind of?
I don't know.
You're just as bad as Rodney now.
Hold on.
Hey, the low tonight's 24.
I got family down in Mississippi.
54 is what
54. So
we're
it ain't
looking-
that much different.
Yeah,
54.
it's not bad.
35 here right now.
Oh, what is it right now?
Oh,
30,
that's
35.
27.
It's above freezing.
27.
All right, fine. Since we're all playing this game,
It's a fun game to play.
Well, you're a lot less elevation, so it's ought to be warmer where you are, Jeff.
that's true. Should be. Let's see. Oh, that's my Bluetooth. We don't want to do that.
Ooh, gets down to 24 before the sun comes up.
It is currently 21 degrees here. Feels like 21. Wow.
You got robbed.
Yeah, I'm not shitting you. 21.
Uh,
Thank God that word just enough. Now people won't know what town I live in.
You
Okay,
can
I
I
got
take
got
it.
some.
27 and it feels like 18.
Damn. Well, when I lived in Kansas, you're not in the flat part of Kansas. You still got the hills.
Yeah, we're not like that dead flat western Kansas that everybody thinks of.
It's
We have
flat to
all
me.
been-
You're still under 1,000 feet, though, right? I mean, that's flat
He's
to
got
me.
Salina and
Oh, yeah.
Lions
Yeah.
Hutch.
I was in the flat part, and there's a problem with the flat part is when it snows, there's a constant all the time 5-mile-an-hour wind. And when it snows, the wind just kind of blows from one area to another. That and Wyoming, I never want to go. I never want to go to Wyoming again.
I hate everything about cold weather. There's nothing good about cold weather.
Well, we were doing the newspapers, and we spent 6 months in Florida. Then we went to Arizona, and then we went to Northern California. So we're driving back, and we're driving back through what did I say, Wyoming, and we hadn't seen snow in a year. So we're like, oh, cool, look, the snow on the side of the highway. Well, nobody told us that when the sun goes down, the wind starts blowing, and it blows that snow. We had a foot of snow blown snow across the damn highway. It didn't even snow, but it just like whiteout condition just because of the wind.
Oof.
I hate Wyoming. I'll never go back.
Mr. Foot says it's 10 degrees there.
Ugh.
Nope.
I don't know how you guys live up that far up north.
I don't know either.
I like how Tim Mopar there says 21 degrees feels like 17. You know what? 21 does feel like 17. It's the same thing.
Hey,
You know,
That's
I mean,
what I'm
7
saying.
here feels like 18. So
21 feels like 17 as parts falling off either way. It's
How
just
do they,
always-
and I always wonder how they actually judge that, because they're like, for what they say is like, if you were outside naked, this is what it would feel like. It's like, what, did somebody actually run outside naked and be like, God damn, it feels like 17 degrees out here?
Nobody read my comment I just typed to Mark. Okay, it's private. Nobody read that.
yeah.
We're all reading it now.
I like how uber sophisticated Mark is. I'm down with influenza A right now.
Right.
Well, it's because he's in that profession.
I know, but it's just funny. You need a pretty upscale waiting room just to wait at the ER with symptoms like that, Mark.
I think that'll get them. That's going to make them want to stay sick, or it's going to get them better in a hurry.
Oh man.
Oh, awkward silence. Wow.
So what do I? Here's my question, and I don't know, and I don't know if anybody else has ever messed with it.
Yes, I do
Well,
actually have that outfit.
I've got these adjustable rockers on this motor.
Oh yeah, those are my old ones. They're the crane style.
Yeah, well, I think they're the like the 273 rockers.
Yeah, the 273 rockers have been adapted to take a crane or a Crower
Mhm.
style adjuster.
But now with the hydraulic lifters, is there any adjustment I have to do to those, or is there a special way I adjust those with hydraulic lifters? Because I know they're mainly for flat lift or solid lifters. They're mainly for solid. The adjustment is mainly for solid lifters.
I couldn't tell you because I really have no idea how to set preload on a lifter.
You just
I'm not a
quarter
GM
turn
guy.
preload and let it rock.
Okay.
I'm not a GM guy.
That's it.
All right.
It should be fine.
About a quarter turn, maybe a half turn at the most of preloads. All you want.
Okay.
You basically just don't want any clearance with it running. That's it.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
So like almost like a small block Chevy.
Yeah.
it's a lot like a small block Chevy,
Okay.
except it's
I
more
can do that.
sophisticated.
Yeah.
I can
it's
do
better.
that.
It's a better rocker system.
Well, yeah, because it's a shaft mount rocker.
Yeah.
That's what what is his name? What is Professor P's first name?
Shane.
Shane. That's why I keep thinking that. He was talking about these blocks, and he said that from all the ones that he sonic checked, the later blocks, the later LA blocks, like
Yeah.
this one, are the thickest blocks that he's found.
Hmm.
And that was from Sonic Chest. He said they're even thicker than the Magnum blocks.
Yeah, he said he had a quarter inch of cast on the thrust surfaces. That's really good.
Wow.
That's stout.
Yeah.
I told you
That's
that.
pretty
block.
stout.
Hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You sold me this engine for next to nothing.
This
Yes.
is the cylinder wall that came out of Candy Cane. I haven't sonic checked it, but that's some thick stuff right there. I mean, that's a lot of block.
That is
What
so
happened with that engine?
I think that a nut came off of a rod bolt.
Oh,
Because if you look on the video, he's combing through the pan. You could see an entire rod bolt laying in the pan
Ooh.
and a nut. You can see it.
yeah.
and
And
the rod-
it would have, they would have been together.
Here's the rod. Okay, it broke one side, right? You can see that. The other's missing, but you could see that entire bolt in the pan. I mean, I think a nut came off the rod bolt.
It could have sheared the stud right at the nut too.
Well, no, because it was a whole rod bolt.
Yeah, there was a whole rod bolt and a
Yes.
nut.
You could see is the whole thing.
Wow.
That's what the ticking was, is when it came loose.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, was I
I've
the only
never
one
seen one do that.
when he was doing the burnout? It sounded like the engine was already kind of ragged to me.
That's probably what we were hearing.
Yeah, I mean that's just me. I remember when he was running that, it didn't sound like it was hitting quite right to me. And then when he blew it up down the track, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And that is the-
even though it's still a big block Chevy, so he should annihilate tires like a mofo easily.
And I know it wasn't his fault because he wasn't sure what happened. But that's kind of a lesson in if you think anything happened, pull off to the side as soon as you can. Pull off to the side and stop.
I mean, I
Unless
stuck
you-
that ring in there, but like, look, I mean,
Yeah,
it's ugly. It was an ugly boom.
unless you lack the ability to pull off to the side of the track.
Well, okay, yeah. You
I'm
should
glad
be.
he won that award.
Yeah, because you were
You
the
had
one
it
that was
until
up for
right
it.
then.
I did not win that trophy.
But
Well,
you
you
know
know
what?
what-
For a bunch of guys that built stuff in their garages, and I guess most of the guys do that, but there was not that many breakdowns.
Not as
No.
many as we thought there'd be.
And for a bunch of brand new people at the track, no kind of accident whatsoever.
That is true. Nobody wrecked.
Nobody.
This is going to be
had
the
any
top
kind
of the oil
accident
down
in any
trophy.
way.
This is the top of the oil down trophy for the worst oil down next year.
That
This
rod,
is
man.
the piston and rod out of that engine.
Wow.
And Williams says he's going to give us a sample of rubber for the burnout competition trophy. I'm hoping that the winners will all do this from year to year.
That'd
So
be cool.
whoever breaks something and has the worst oil down in 2023 will contribute the top of the trophy for 2024 and so on.
Yeah. that'd be
And
cool.
hopefully William will win his rubber back if he indeed wants to reclaim his title, as he says. But
I will
there's
do
going to
my
be a
best.
lot of
Take
people
some-
after it.
I think it's going to take. People are going to go crazy on that burnout competition this year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we got to work on that wording a little bit about winning his rubber back. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Some of us who have a child of a
He will
mind
give
of a
it,
child.
yeah.
Just saying.
But man,
Now, competition for the burnout competition next year is definitely going to be fierce.
well, I mean, there was a lot this year. Fucking
It really was, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy put it to them tires.
Blake did. You know what Blake did would have won probably 7 out of 10 burnout competitions a guy could enter. What Blake
Yeah.
did, and I still think that Jeremy beat him. I think William had to just melt the tires down to China to give those guys any. I mean that. Yeah, that wasn't a gimme. Let me tell you, that was a hard competition.
Dizzy
And it
Izzy
really
should
would-
have
I mean,
won the oh my god competition.
Look at the show Roland put on. I mean, Roland didn't make a lot of smoke, but he drug that Grinch about 16 miles inside that pit on the limiter the whole time, right? I mean, Sam had a turbo glowing red. I mean, you had square body Chad twists a drive shaft in half, welds a sleeve over it, and still makes it to the burnout competition to smoke dualies. That was really
Wow.
impressive.
That was.
I mean, everybody brought it. It's just this was a group that I knew would. And next year, whatever you bring, you have to bring more of because it's
Well, and Dizzy
it'll
Izzy
be-
brought the fear to everybody.
Fuck yeah.
Dizzy Izzy. I thought was going to bring us a stack of papers, but yeah,
And just before that, he was like, "No, I'm just going to take it easy. I'm not sure how to do this. I'm just going to take it easy." And he gets out there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
I don't want to see him if he's like going buck wild. Then it might scare me.
oh
You
my.
know-
Well, there's some new rules written for 2023 just because of Dizzy. So I'm not kidding.
Well, and then, and I
Me
thought
too.
that front tire was going to fall off the jet too.
Oh my god, that looked dangerous. It looked like
Yeah.
that front wheel was about to break over.
He's the only one. After that last pass they made on the track, I told Dallas, I said, "You got to tell those guys that's their last pass."
Yeah, they got to fix it.
Yeah, and 323 fabrication there. Yeah, oh yeah, he brought it. Lots of guys, put on a great show.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Just getting to meet everybody though, I thought was the coolest thing.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know, because we can sit here on these lives and talk, but it's
Thanks,
nothing like actually seeing the person face to face.
No.
You know.
One thing that matters to me that some people don't think about, if you realize, we shut the event down for the burnout competition.
Mhm.
And that was why so many people were at the burnout competition. At other events, the burnout competition's in a separate area, and it's just like, there's this like extra ring of the circus that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Well, that's not fair. That's not fair at all.
yeah. That's not giving the burnout guys a good stage.
And it's not honoring the spirit of community, right? So to me, we don't want people just making passes on the track, just testing and tuning, ignoring the burnout competition. We don't want the burnout guys to say, oh, well, forget the bracket because we're doing this.
Yeah.
We don't want the track hot while everybody's at Lambert's. I mean, it would be too tempting for people to shortcut the event. This is the only event that people go to for all of the other participants.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only one. And so to me, that's why it's got to be that way. But it makes sense.
Well, that's why you didn't see a lot of people in the stands. And
It's
I don't
exactly
care how
why
many
you did,
people
yeah.
show up, you're probably not going to see a lot in the stands because they're going to want to be all coming out and meeting and talking to everybody else.
Dallas said when we settled up on Sunday that was the best gate he'd seen at Jeffers. Best gate he'd seen at Jeffers in 5 years. And they were all in the pits meeting the content creators.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like when your favorite guy would go up there, I've seen it happen. When people's favorite guy would go up there, they'd walk up to the fence, watch the race, and then go back and start talking to everybody else.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, that was the thing.
You can't judge it by the stands at an event like that.
I know that all morning long that line never ran out at gate 1. And I don't even know what was going on at gate 2 up top. See, there were 2 gates selling tickets to spectators. I know that I had to run wristbands up to gate 2 a couple of times. So I know he was busy. And gate 1 was real busy because that line never ran out until after lunch, and then people were still trickling in. So it was hopping. It really was.
Well, and the fact that they ran out of food in the concession stand.
Oh yeah.
That's got to tell you something right there.
That's got to be the most he's ever done in concessions since he's owned that track. I mean, so that tells you the spectator numbers were not light too. But
because a lot of the racers and everything, we brought our own food.
Oh yeah, and that's not even counting that. But yeah, it's true.
I didn't have any stickers with me this last year, but I got plenty now.
Oh man, the stickers! That was the coolest thing. Was everybody was throwing stickers to everybody. You know.
Oh, yeah.
That was
it's
cool.
Like, hell, I don't care. I spent $30 on these stickers. I ain't gonna try to sell them. Here, take a couple. Well, we ran out, didn't we?
No, we came real close.
Okay.
I'm dangerous low. I gotta
Yeah,
get more
wow.
from Indy.
Yeah, we do need to do another sticker order.
I'm working on redoing this back here, and I'm going to have a new piece of glass for the orange paper, and I've got another one of these boards for my stickers. I'm working when all that gets done to where I can put it all up at one time is when I'm going to do it. That's the reason why some stickers like Dust Devil are not up here yet. It's Dust Devil sticker sitting right here. But I'm waiting on my new board to get done. Sign Shop's had it for months, and as soon as that gets done, I'm going to redo all this back here, and then all the stickers that are not up, like Williams and Dust Devils, will get up here. But that's what
That's actually another video we need to do, just a short video, probably for Wednesday. We'll do that tomorrow.
No, let's on the live show my computer.
Oh yeah, show the back of your computer.
Yeah, lots of people decorate the back of the computer.
You guys see it? Oh yeah. But no, I got my sticker window over there, and I've got a bunch of stickers even before No Name that I haven't done a video putting them up. So I think I'm gonna do a little short for a Wednesday video.
Hey Ken.
Do my stickers. It's Ken.
Oh,
I need to get some stickers out to you, Wilburn. I know it was one of the problems with the event is you just couldn't get around to everybody, and every time you think about, I'm going to get back over to this guy, like I almost forgot to get back to Brad at Poor Boy's Garage to bring him stickers.
Between the people participating and the people the channels who were there without a car, how many you think it was?
Oh,
I don't know. I think we had 105 go through tech. We have more numbers than that. Then there's all the channels. People like, like Brian. There's channels that came that didn't bring a car with them.
I didn't bring a car. Jeff didn't bring a car. Barrow didn't bring a car.
There were hundreds of channels there, including ones to spectate that we see. I don't know, probably at least 300 or 400 channels represented by the time you count all of that. Probably a third of them had cars that went through tech, so probably 3 times that many by the time you count ones that didn't bring cars, flew in, spectating, but they have channels that we recognize, right?
Ken at Tall Garage, he was there, but his car didn't make it.
Exactly. So if we counted 300 at 5 minutes apiece, I mean, that's over an entire day right there. 5 minutes with each channel. That's an entire 24-hour day.
5 minutes ain't no time to have a conversation.
Exactly.
That's why I'm kind of glad you said that Thursday is going to be like an event day. I mean, there's not going to be any racing going on Thursday, is there?
I don't want the track to be hot on Thursday because that'll absolutely take away from everything else people want to do. It really
having the day on Thursday for everybody to just set their stuff up and go around and talk to people.
There are probably 5% who would love nothing more than to make laps from the minute they get there to the minute they leave. But because I know it's a cheap way to be able to make a lot of passes. Yeah. I mean, you think about it, where else can you pay $75 to make 20 passes over 2 days?
Well, right? That's the thing. Duddy did that a lot, but that was Duddy's first time on the track too.
Right.
You know? I just think they told Duddy that he's got to keep going until he runs out of gas. That's what I think they told Duddy.
Or there's a secret taco hidden. There's a taco hidden in the track.
There's a taco hidden at the bottom of your gas tank, and you gotta.
Man, I think talk about somebody that looks exactly like he does on his videos. And Duddy had his uniform and everything. He's exactly.
Well, and the thing is, okay, where our pits was awesome. But every time Duddy came back, the smile on his face, every time I was like, yeah, he's having
that was a good spot. That was a good spot. And since I knew a bunch of you guys wanted to pit together, I waited until the first member of Camp Dust Devil got there, and I said, hey, you can pit anywhere you want, but if you're here at this fork right at the end of the return road, that's a pretty prime spot. I mean, the
only thing, and I wanted to ask you about this, but I wanted to kind of wait to see if it's actually going to be at Jeffers. But I'll just say, if it is at Jeffers again, and we get that same spot, I will put. I actually know a guy in the business. Can we have somebody bring in a porta potty and put that there?
That's already on the list.
Okay, well, I mean, like I said, Ed, if you want to put, if there was a problem with that, you needed to put a couple porta potties in, I know a guy.
Done deal. Done deal.
Oh, okay, you already got it handled?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, you should talk to me first. I probably could have got you a better deal.
Oh, no, it's on the list. We haven't committed any contracts on that.
Okay, well,
that will happen.
Okay, well, just let me know. And like I said, I know a guy, and he can probably get. I mean, I've known this guy for a long time.
Yeah,
he's in the business. He's in the poop business.
Yeah.
No, that
my uncle
needs to definitely be.
My uncle's name. His name was Scott. He passed a few years back, but he used to do he would work at like estate sales and auctions. Well, he had the idea one time, and he went out, and he was a hustler. That's all he did. He never had a regular job. He was a hustler, and he basically made his living hustling. Well, he's working at all these estate sales and everything, and he's like, and he found a porta potty, and he bought it. And he put it on a little trailer, and he would just take that to those estate sales and charge the guys a certain amount of money to have it there. He called it Scotty's Potties.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, and oh shit.
I think something cool to do for the next No Name would be to, even if they're a spectator, if they have an automotive centered YouTube channel, just have them record that on whatever sign sheet, so you can have an accurate record of however many channels go.
Well, yeah. The big thing is, a lot of them I know because I got spectator tickets in the book. I had them on the will call sheets. So I had a lot of that, that I recognized from that. But, a lot of the channels that didn't bring cars and channels that weren't in the No Name 500, it's unsurprisingly that a lot of those didn't make any video either. I mean, because it does kind of go hand in hand, right? I mean, if they were into making video and posting video, they would have been participating, right? That does make sense. And then there's a lot of people did a lot of really, really great video.
Let me just tell you, John, I have a surprise for that. I have not put out a No Name Nationals video, but I have a surprise for that.
Okay.
Me and you can
That's
talk
good,
about
I think.
No, it's a good surprise. It's a good thing. It's something I decided on the way whenever I was driving home. But anyway, other than that surprise, I've got too many surprises. I've got 2.
We got things in the works.
I do have things in the works. And I shouldn't have taken the break that I did. I want to say, just honestly, I did get frustrated there toward the end. And it was a whole, hey, I got to get this car done, and didn't really have time to film. I should have filmed a lot more. Looking back on it, I should have filmed more because ended up not having the car there anyway. But, oh well.
Well, I mean, the main thing is without some kind of date that everybody really throws everything behind coming to, it just wouldn't happen. It would just stay decentralized and all these little parallel islands of content all the time. And I was really hoping that we could get them all to descend on one place at one time like that. And there are going to be some that don't make it, and there'll be some that could have done it twice and everything else. But the main thing is, if it happens every year, we're hoping more and more people who are good to be there will be there. But the thing is, you can't start to say, okay, we want to do this every year. So whatever year you're ready, come on.
Yeah, no, you got to
start out the gate like that. You will see people immediately make it a one of these days things. And of course, as you know, my calendar had one of these days on it.
With the condition this car was in, was the way it was for 2 years. No Name Nationals got this car up to the point where it is now.
But the thing is, though, if you make the second one with the car, and the main thing, and I've maintained this all along, the main thing was that you made it.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather you make it. I would rather any of you guys here would have made it than your car make it without you, for example. Because if you go to a car show, how many times do you see all kinds of cars? How many times have you been to a car show, you see all these cars, and you leave there and have no idea who they belong to?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time, right? Because it's just like, oh, well, here's the same car over here as here, and here's this really pretty, and they have no personality, and the owners are just completely lost interest because they've sat in lawn chairs behind their cars for decades. They don't drive them. They just like to tell everybody how proper the, antifreeze decal is on the radiator support or whatever. And you know what? It's boring and awful. So what's good is when all the content creators are there, and the cars will follow. So the main thing is that Brian made it to the inaugural. And hopefully, when he comes back to the second annual, he'll be bringing his car.
Oh, yeah, I'll be bringing.
What's not to like, right?
At least one.
Yeah, at least one.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe 2.
Exactly.
Well, we're looking at you bringing one, me bringing one.
That truck you sent me the other day, Jed.
Yeah.
That red one. If that thing is around still when we got the money, yeah, I'm buying that truck.
That was nice, wasn't it?
I mean, and it still needed work. It's perfect. It's perfect for me because it didn't need no body work.
Yeah.
It's basically, I'll tell everybody what it was. It's a little Red Express clone that the guy already has the body work done to. So it needs all the mechanical stuff, all the stuff I'm good at. Body work, I'm not good at. All the other shit I can do. So, and she wants a little Red Express. So yeah, there will be a red vehicle on my channel if we get that one.
I still feel bad. Old Bear Rose, I mean, he had to go to Plan C to make it, but he made it. I know it's just awesome, man, to go to Plan C. So I hope that he has better luck next year because he had the hard work. He had the work ethic for sure. Just had a lot of bad luck and stuff like that happens.
I had a lot of stuff happen right at the end too.
Yeah.
And that's, but that's part of I take full responsibility for it. It was bad planning. I should have had that stuff done before the bad stuff happened, but
I mean, we had some stupid luck stuff happen to us. Like Dallas got completely burned on the light plant reservation. I mean, he was ready to put a boot up somebody at Sunbelt Rentals. They just burned us on the light plant reservation. So he had to make a backup plan for that, but we had enough time to where there's contingency time built in, right? So I mean, we did things a little earlier than we had to make sure that we could deliver when other people, fell behind, right?
Is that the water barrier thing you're talking about?
Well, that was the light plant. And then the pallets for the sand barriers. I mean, the pallet plant. You remember the giant fire that was across the street the whole time? That giant black. They decided to burn all the trash pallets over there on the weekend of our event, right?
No, that's what that was.
Well, those people had the pallets we need right there. We could see them. They were 1,000 feet away, but they were on the other side of the interstates. All we needed is like, hey, can you bring us some pallets? We could come over with a trailer and get them. And that took us probably 2 days just to get somebody to say, oh, yeah, take these. That's it. But again, that's the kind of stuff you got to really stay on, these deliverables. And so we fought through a lot of stuff like that.
I had no idea that back there where the burnout was, that there's like a little neighborhood back there.
Yeah.
Those got to be the coolest people on the planet.
They were just coming out of the houses watching. They were watching when William made their neighborhood disappear.
Well,
I mean, seriously,
tracks that are shutting down now because they buy up land, they build a track, and then the land is cheap because the track is there. So people build houses on a cheap land and then complain about the noise of the track that was already there. And the track ends up having to shut down or start doing certain things. And it's good that there's a neighborhood there that doesn't have that whole.
That has to be that picture. I love that picture.
Yeah.
That's William's contact picture. And I had a lot of people tell me that they love the way it turned out with the ambiance of having all that white smoke backlit and in that neighborhood and at night, and you wouldn't have that during the day.
Yeah. The burnout competition, I think, has to be when it's dark.
I thought it added a lot to it.
Yeah.
Look at the lights that Steven had under his truck. A lot of people were getting in on doing stuff like that, and I probably will see more of that next year. But the nighttime thing, I thought, yes, I realize if you want to try to have the one key to for all locks, the one card or one ring to rule them all, bracket and burnout and 28, 10, 5 and everything with one card. I get that. But what I figure will happen is 28, 10, 5, you're going to have a quick car to win that next year. And burnout, you're going to have something that incinerates tires for eternity for that. And for the bracket, you're going to have to run your number all afternoon. So I look for these things to all get more competitive and fewer people to even worry about that.
Well, that's the thing, though. Okay, here's my question: is for the points, though. Say I bring this car and a burnout car. Do I still, as long as I drove both, I still get points?
We fully expect there to be a divergence in DNA regarding the points. So we're going to have some updates to the points.
Okay.
Still want to reward participation as much as we can.
Well, that's the thing, and I can see if you drove both vehicles, and if you have to be the driver of the vehicle for that, because, or you could get somebody who just brings in a bunch of people on their thing and be like, yeah, those are all considered mine. You can't do that. So. But then that also leaves it open to where if somebody's car does break and they just could be like, well, shit, here, let me just to get, and I don't think it's a bad thing. Let me get points in the bracket. I'll just throw my tow rig in there real quick. I could see people doing that. And I wouldn't have a problem with that.
there's a lot of things like that we've thought of, and you can't think of everything, but yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of things that people don't realize why you have to do, but we're trying to keep people from. We don't want people to turn it into a game for the sake of winning the game. We want people to come have fun, and so we're trying to think of things that don't reward. Just turn it into a game that people don't enjoy for the sake of competition.
Yeah,
I mean
that's the thing. If you have the good competitions, though, like say the burnout competition, if somebody built a vehicle just for burnouts, it's going to be a cooler burnout competition.
Well, you say that. Okay. So what happens if somebody just makes some exoskeleton that just incinerates tires for 5 minutes, but it has no character? You say that, but I mean, I think it's cooler to see a Charger burning into the rims myself.
Same.
I mean, you got to have that balance. You don't want people gaming it to the point that they take all the character out of it. Because you know what? Then you have something like stock, right?
If William would have been out there in a Honda Civic and done the same burnout, he probably wouldn't have won it. It was the fact that it was that car had
Story.
an influence. The type of car that it was had an influence on the judges.
Well, but I mean, it depends. It depends what people are doing. I mean, if you have a car that surprises people, okay. So what if Kim had gone out there in that crazy looking Econoline and had incinerated tires down to the axle stuff, right? Okay, well now that would be a good chance to win.
If she would have done the exact same burnout as William, William would have won it because, like you said, nobody expects somebody to take a goddamn 68 Charger that is probably worth even in poor condition, worth more than any car anybody there owns, and sit there and do burnouts with it.
By the way, at Carlisle, so I reached out to Dodge and I said, hey, your chief donut maker, we've got a good stage for him or her. Whenever you appoint him or her, they need to come to Sykeston, September 30th. You know what? Dodge, of course, never responded to me, but instead they sent a delegation to Carlisle. Carlisle's burnout competition was won by a 68 Charger that didn't put on near the smoke show William did, and Carlisle's burnout competition had 4 vehicles in it. And you had to watch it from up on top of a hill about 200 feet away. And have you seen a single video on YouTube with Chryslers at Carlisle's burnout competition? Did you even know they had one?
I didn't.
Never knew they had one.
Yeah, this is another example of big corporate making a decision that people can really laugh about.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? When it comes to them I just invited them. I mean, I wasn't asking for sponsorship, nothing. I just said, hey, if you want a good venue for your chief donut maker to show off, then you can come there.
Needs to bring something cooler than a modern Charger.
Bring whatever they want to bring, but they got the same criteria everybody else does. They do have their subscribers.
Yeah, Chief Donut Maker better have his clubs, and he probably won't win the burnout competition at this event. He won't win it in a modern car.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just it's funny how they think.
Yeah,
I mean, and go to Chryslers at Carlisle. What content could they possibly have gotten out of that? I mean, there were not nearly even at that event, there weren't as many people watching as were watching ours. Did you go, Will? Did you go to Carlisle? None of y'all were at Carlisle.
No, I didn't go to Carlisle. I mean, I went to Mo Party. Mo Party does that too, though. They shut down. I guess they don't really shut down because I think you can still hear the guys doing the drag cars, but when they do like their burnout competition, it's like front and center. They announce it and everybody goes to that. It's better than some other ones do. Well, that and the track that they have at, everything's right there. Where they do their burnout competition is right in the middle of everything.
Well, I looked at a lot of them and how they were set up. I asked a lot of people who I know who've won burnout competitions and what makes for a good venue, what makes for a good stage, and tried to make a good area. So,
it was perfect as far as I'm concerned.
I thought the little grassy area in the middle we'd have a little fun with and see what people dig with it.
Yeah, I think that was pretty cool.
Made it different, didn't it?
I gave you that
Hey,
nice
Jeremy
big.
scared the hell out of everybody
Oh yeah.
when the white smoke turned to dirt.
I mean, you do realize that pit, like either side of of the 3 ends on that pit, all of them were bigger than the burnout pits at most places, right? Like each of those. So you can say that thing was right in the middle. Yeah, it was, but you also had so much pavement on each end.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked out great. It made for something really cool and different, and we got little ways to improve it for next year. But
I think the grassy area, I think, actually helped some of the cars that may not have had the power to break them loose easy.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you said, nobody that went into that burnout competition didn't put on a show. Everybody that went in there was a show, you know.
Yeah. There was never a point in the burnout competition where I was yawning.
Nah.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. It was high tempo, and we're expecting everything will scale up about 100%. That's pretty conservative. I think that's probably reasonable to expect about twice the entries everywhere.
As long as everybody is safe, we don't need to have any kind of accident.
Yeah. Well, I don't want it to ever get. I don't want it to get bigger at the expense of safety or problem people. We didn't have any problem people at all, and I don't want the problem people there. So I want to keep it that way. So if it grows by measure of more cool people coming, then yes.
You also got to make sure people understand it is a family event too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. One thing I would suggest for next year is having a photographer there that can take pictures of everybody's car while they're doing the burnouts and crazy stuff like that.
It's funny because we thought about this, but we thought, well, first of all, there is plenty of video of the burnout competition.
Well, video, but still images that people can use for stuff. A still image taken from a video.
Yours, William?
A still image taken from a video and a purpose taken picture, 2 completely different qualities.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, was it a good quality photo? I took a lot of. I took that out of a 1080 video.
It's still a picture from a video.
William, is if somebody does go there and take a bite, because I took a lot of still images, a lot, but I can't really put them up on YouTube, and it's basically a YouTuber event. So you're going to end up with more video.
But if you take 1080 60 frame a second video, you can take incredible stills out of that. But here's the thing the only thing I get what you're saying, but here's the thing I like about just running video all the time. You don't know that perfect moment for the photo.
That's true.
When track photographers only had a shutter, you didn't get the fireballs because you didn't know they were coming. It's when people could crop them out of video. Well, video started out 144 potato, right? But now that most people are starting to film in 60 frame a second, the still imagery that comes out of video is incredible. And I would say probably 10% of YouTubers now are 60 frame a second. Makes all the difference in the world, even at 720. I'm
still at 30 frames a second.
I do 60 frames per second at 1080. Okay. Yeah. That still that William has, my problem is my phone when it films at night, no matter what, it's always a little bit on that grainy side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, all the pictures I received are still just beyond awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that we'd like to. We do have some photography ideas for next year, though. I think you're really going to like. You'll have to wait and see on them, but we already know some stuff we want to do with that.
I need to get in touch with people that I took still pictures of, because like I said, I took a lot.
I hardly took any. I have a grand total of 213 photos by geographic location on my phone, and that counts all of the ones we took from spring setting up there. So if that tells you how few I actually took at the event, wasn't that many.
I kind of thought it was funny.
Look,
you knew it was going to happen, but it's funny to see it happen. Is a bunch of people walking around phones talking to themselves.
Yeah,
because if you're not into YouTube or anything, and you see somebody walking down the street with a phone like this talking to themselves, you're like, what the hell is that guy doing? We all know what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Mo,
There are videos. You know where we did the lined up for the group photo on the track Friday morning?
Yeah.
There are videos of just a train of people filming, walking through there, all through that medium. It's wild to watch.
Mohawk 62 commented, "We need a sticker next year of William pointing at the divots in the asphalt saying, I did that." I like that.
I mean, and I'm still, I guess maybe it's just that I'm not used to it, but it's like I went to a swap meet last Sunday and I was going to start filming, but I popped my camera out and I'm like, there's a lot of people here. And I'm going to be standing in the middle of all these people talking to myself. And, you know, it's just people get weird about being on camera. So I was like, nah, there's just too many people here to do that.
When we were talking about the burnout competition up there in the top end, Jeffers was worried that we'd mess up his pavement. And Dallas is like, nah, you won't mess up your pavement. So we're draining the water barriers the next day, and Dallas is like, yeah, there's nothing around here to see. And we drained him. I said, Dallas, you got 2 square lakes over there. And I point to them, and I said, I'd be willing to bet those lakes are exactly the distance apart of the track width on a Charger. He looks over and says, yeah, it's kind of deep.
Who was the guy that did the lights and everything?
The lights?
The guy with the beard that worked there.
Oh, what do you mean the lights? Like the track lighting?
Yeah, no, he did the starting line stuff.
Oh, Barkley?
Yeah,
Barkley,
I guess.
Barkley runs the track.
Okay, yeah, I was talking to him on the way back. I was like, yeah, this is cool. He's like, yeah, it was cool, but the only thing that sucks is I got to clean up after it tomorrow.
No, well, no, because the place was really clean.
Yeah, I think he thought he had to clean up.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the burnout. We were walking back from the burnout, so I think
Dallas and I drained all of that, got all that ready to put on the truck.
But yeah, like you said, but that's another thing. When you get more people, you got to emphasize stuff like that. Like, hey, keep your stuff clean. You know, there ain't nobody going to come behind you. So,
well, I think
we don't want anybody to come behind you.
We'll have more people who want to be there. I just hope it's more people like the people we had, who are cool people, responsible, don't bring drama and problems and all of that. That's all I want. We're very fortunate that we didn't have any problem people show up this year. I don't want any next year, and that was great.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you're grabbing from a group of people who are, for the most part, building their own cars with their own blood, sweat, and tears and money, they have a greater appreciation for what they have and for what other people have done the same for themselves.
You would hope.
So, yeah.
But you know, they're all extroverted. They all like social media, right? A lot of them have a competitive streak, and so a lot of that feeds into the pool.
I hate social media.
I listen. The only social media I have is this. I don't have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, none of that. I have YouTube, and that's it.
And also the thing is, you know, everybody who I think everybody who showed up, even if they made their channel just to do this, realized that it's a lot more work than what a lot of people think. But, you know, they had to put time into making their channel. And if you go someplace like that, acting like an ass, everybody's going to know about it, and your channel's going to go boom.
And a lot of those
work is going to go away.
A lot of those people realize that to do it and do it the right and honorable way takes work. It's an investment, and that's a big contributor to why we had good behavior and didn't have any problems.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm convinced that No Name 500. No Name 500 helped that.
You know, if you had an event where just anybody could show up, then you probably would have had a lot more problems. I see it every time I go to the track.
Oh, I agree.
You know, I know people who've been drag racing for years, and every story that they got is a time they were pissed off. It's like, well, why do you even do it?
Well, but that's the thing about having to have a channel and having to have content just to be eligible. You give up some anonymity and you have to have some accountability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal. That goes a long way toward people acting more civilized. This is why people will typically act more civilized, say, in a church service or in a movie theater where they're face to face than they will in, say, traffic, where they're instantly in their cars, you don't know who they are, and they can just act like jerks. And so when you have to not only be there face to face, but you have to have a channel for months telling people, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm working on. And you have to put yourself out there a little bit. It does help regulate behavior a little bit.
I got my my channel name on the back window of my Ram. I have to be careful not to cut too many people off in traffic.
It's accountability.
I might try that.
Because I actually have had a couple people comment saying that they saw me driving somewhere and they saw they saw my sticker in the back window.
I'm gonna do that, William. I'm gonna get a sticker made with your channel logo, and I'm going to be the biggest ass.
I thought it was the funniest thing. My uncle, he was afraid of me getting his license tag in a video one time. And I'm thinking, you drive a combat Humvee, you know? I mean, like, how many of those are in this town that you're worried about? Somebody else is going to say, oh, well, that must be the other guy. It's like, some point
I don't understand that. You see so many for sale ads where they're covering up the license plate. It's like, you realize you're driving that car everywhere, and everybody can just look out their window and see your license plate.
The license plate is the most public part of the car. I mean, it's like you get somebody's DMV info from running a tag online. I mean, you can't.
I used to be worried about it myself, but I don't care anymore.
No, there's not. I mean, that's the only reason that it would matter is if you had a really a real gray man nondescript vehicle, but with a really identifiable license plate, right? Now that would make a difference, because now, let's say that you have just a sea of Honda Civics out there, but you have a license plate that identifies all of them as yours. Well, now that makes sense. But if you have an extremely unique vehicle, who cares what the license plate is? It's like Brian could put any license plate in the world on that Duster. Yeah. And nobody's going to confuse it with anything else. So the license plate's not going to matter. It's like, hey, Jed, put a different tag on Jezebel, because we wouldn't want anybody confusing you with all the other cars in Kansas that look like it. I mean, you realize the argument that they're making, right? It's silly.
Or I don't know if it's that, or they think that people are going to be able to get some kind of some of their personal information from it. That's like I said, if anybody wanted, if that was true, you would have guys who steal people's identities just writing down license numbers in traffic and be like, okay.
Crazy. It's crazy.
And I guarantee if I was going to steal somebody's identity, it wouldn't be the guy in the Honda Civic. It'd be the guy in the Lamborghini. That's the identity I want to steal.
For people with cars that blend in with everything, but a really unique tag, I can see that. That makes sense. If you have a unique car, it doesn't do a thing for you.
Well, that, and also if you're selling the car, you're going to give somebody your information to come buy it anyway. You're going to tell them where you live to come look at the car and buy it. I just people just think weird. I guess people just get weird shit in their heads anymore. It's like people don't own cell phones.
Everybody decides where that line is, but
people don't own. They don't own cell phones because they think the government's tracking them, or they do own a cell phone, but don't want it, but thought they were going to put a tracking device in the vaccine, in the COVID vaccine. It's like, you dumbass, they've already given you your tracking device. If somebody wants to know where you're at, you're holding it in your hand, or it's in your pocket.
Virginia is actually the #1 state in the country for vanity tags. which I didn't even realize that, but Virginia
Yeah.
is. It's #1 in that.
Huh.
I don't know why that is, but we are. Maybe it's because you get the tag on both the front and the back here. I don't know.
We got Illinois and Missouri are 2-plate states. I always
Yeah,
wanted to live in a 1-plate. Well, I did when I was in Kansas, I guess.
I didn't realize Missouri had 2.
Yep.
Yep.
New York
I'm
has
so
2.
glad we don't have to do
I'm-
that. That ruins the
I'm
look
just
of
a one-
20 vehicles in the front.
Mississippi's a 1-state plate, so I'm happy.
My dad was always convinced that the only reason New York had 2 tags, it was like a conspiracy to keep people from putting Confederate flag license plates on the front of the car. That's crazy.
I think the only reason Illinois is 2 plates is so they can sell the other one so they can get
Exactly,
more
the tax you make you pay more for your tags, because we all know Illinois, they let you go by with so much else that's cheap. I'm surprised
telling
that
you.
state doesn't tax you on oxygen consumption, like put a little meter.
$1 a gallon difference between Illinois and Missouri.
Yeah, I believe
I'm
that.
lucky. Oh, well, I don't know, because I'm kind of lucky that I buy gas in Missouri. $3.08 is what I paid Thursday for gas,
You ever
or
Yep.
Wednesday.
You ever been to that little town there in Illinois where you cross those 2 bridges because you're going to Sykeston? You didn't come in that way, but you cross through about 100 yards of the very southern tip of Illinois, going from Kentucky over to Missouri when you cross the Mississippi. It's a town. I think they pronounce it Cairo, but it's spelled just like Cairo, Egypt. That is a ghost town. There's a ghost town. There's nothing there. I'm like, well, of course not, because you could go 100 yards either direction and have way lower taxes and more freedom and everything. So I can see that.
I'm surprised they don't have a cop there, though.
I've thought of that. I've thought of that one. Yeah.
Because, any way they can get money.
Barrows is saying it's $4.29 a gallon there. Yeah, it's in the low threes here.
$4.29 in North Carolina.
I paid
Yeah.
$3.08 in Missouri.
About the same.
But I am notorious. Everybody's going to hate me. I put the cheapest gas in my car possible.
Yeah.
I always throw the cheap shit in there, and it runs on it just fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
I don't think I'll do it in the race car, but in what I drive every day, yeah, you get the cheap shit.
I always run the 89 Shell gas.
I put
Right.
mid-grade in the Magnum, but everything else gets premium.
Well, everything else you own is basically a performance car.
Not really. I just like to say they are.
I built an engine for a Hyundai Excel once. And I said, this thing's rated for 68 horsepower, so I want to try to get more out of it. Took what I could get away with taking off the head and the deck to really get the compression up. And I had to run 93 in it. But, who cared? When gas was $1 a gallon, no one cared, right?
Yeah.
Like $1.29 for premium. Yeah, no one cared.
Well, I was like that back then. I was like, well, no, okay, you got 89 cents a gallon. I remember 89 cents a gallon gas and $1. I'm putting in 89.
I started driving right after the Gulf War when the gas just was dirt cheap. Yeah, I know you remember that, Brian, when gas just went to nothing, right? I was in high school when that happened. I was like, that was great. I could change the oil for $5.
Yep, you could go to Dollar General and pick up a Dollar General quart of oil for $1.
I could get Pennzoil for 88 cents a quart, and it was a short time. I mean, it went away pretty quick by about 90, by probably 92, 3, somewhere right in there, maybe 94. It may have even lasted that long. Then it started really trending up again.
Well, I actually lived out in, and it was actually a cool house. It was an old schoolhouse that somebody converted into a house. It still had like the bell tower on it and stuff for the school bell.
Yeah.
And underneath, like I was living with my parents, I lived in the basement. You could see where the it was logs on the foundation that were like cut with an axe. It was a cool house.
Yeah.
But I had to drive like I think it was 10 miles to school every day,
Yeah.
right around there.
Yeah.
She lived like a little bit farther out than I did, but and my satellite had a rear main seal that was bad in it. I would have to put a quart of oil in it to get to school, and have to put oil in it to get home. Well, when that got too expensive, like there, and you know, I had jobs, but like toward the end of the week, that would get too expensive. So I started using just the oil that my dad had done oil changes with. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just dumping this in here.
Yeah.
And there was one time that I got the pan and it had been sitting outside, and I was dumping it in there, and there was dead frogs went into the. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, it'll chew them up. It'll be fine. Isn't that what oil's made out of anyway? Yeah, I ended up changing that. I ended up I didn't blow that up. I just got another 318 and put it in there. I didn't screw changing the rear main seal. 318s were everywhere back then.
Mohawk 62. When
Yeah.
we were talking about the license plates.
Uh-huh.
When I was a kid in Illinois, the tags were raised letters, so we thought the front one was to leave the imprint in the guy's head you just ran over.
Yeah, we still have raised letters here.
Yeah, we don't. That's another thing. It's
Yeah.
the damn thing doesn't even got to be stamped out.
Yeah, they got rid of that here too, and I hate it.
Mississippi still has it.
I found this in the hedgerow working on the old house.
Oh.
That's cool.
1965 West Virginia tag, and the letters are
Wow.
stamped in. They're stamped
Oh.
inward instead of outward,
Huh.
which I thought that was wild. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Reverse stamp.
So I guess this was on, I guess it would have been one of my grandparents or one of my uncle's vehicles. Could have been my dad's. But it's a 65 tag, and it was laying down behind the hedges, I guess, for all these years. And we found it when we were working around the front. I was painting the foundation wall, and I had gotten down digging more than I had previously, and that's how we found it.
Huh.
I rinsed it off in my clean water bucket from paint, and that's as you see it.
There's probably somebody give you a bunch of money for that. I see them guys at the swap meet too. I don't understand.
It's in rough condition, but it belongs to one of my family members, I'm sure. I don't have enough photos to know, but I thought it was pretty cool. Certainly worth picking up, right?
It just proves
yeah.
that people will collect anything, though. You see them guys at the swap meet with just license plates and guys digging through them, and
That needs to say.
I don't know where I have no idea where I got this thing, but it's funny.
that should say Cushman on it instead of trailer.
This is cool too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need that.
I'd like to go see Graceland sometime. Just to
Same.
see it.
I have lived in this area my whole life. I have never been to Graceland.
Well, I've been there.
I'm
Because
just not a big
Graceland
Elvis
is the
fan.
actual town. That's the name of the town. That's not the name of his building. They have red cop cars. At least they did back in the early 2000s. Their cop cars are bright red.
I'm judging you, William.
I'm just not a big Elvis fan.
There is some guy who lives about 30 miles up the road from me. Okay. He's in Roanoke, Virginia. And in the front yard of his house, there is I don't know what the scale is, but a miniature Graceland scene in the entire front yard of this house. And it's been there since the 60s. It's
Oh, wow.
like scaled down of the house and the grounds and outbuildings and everything. And it's the whole front yard of this house. There's a video on YouTube I saw of it.
Huh.
And why it's here, I don't know, but
Elvis is one of them people.
yeah.
And I'm not really a big Elvis fan, but it's still something I'd like to see. My brother is. My brother loves Elvis, but he's special needs. He's autistic. But that's one of the things that he loves is Elvis and the Three Stooges. Which is something not enough people talk about anymore is the Three Stooges. Come on.
The original three.
Yeah. You know that something I went back and watched, and the only reason I want to bring it up is because I said something about the Three Stooges. The only reason I'm going to bring it up. but the idiots that do the lives, you know who I'm talking about, John?
Oh yeah, one of them was in here earlier.
Okay.
But you
Yeah,
know what?
they're
I
idiots.
have more class than him. So instead of spending an hour trashing his event on your live, like he spent on someone else's live trashing my event last month, I don't do things like that. I just
Yeah.
let it go.
But
Bear Rose, Mississippi is the same way, but since we only have a single plate, as long as the license plate is the same year as the vehicle, you can have it legally assigned to the car, and it's classified as a historical plate.
We can do that here
And
too.
see, that's
county don't
cool.
matter.
That might be why those guys do those plates at the
Yeah.
swap meet. They might be looking for that.
That's
what
what
I
I
was
have.
saying, and that was the idiot in particular that you were talking about.
Mhm.
It just, I was just thinking Curly the whole time. The whole time. I almost don't want to give him that much respect, but yeah.
I just wasn't going to say
this
it.
is
but
the
I
plate
just,
I'm putting on my
let him
1970
go.
pickup.
That's cool.
I wish they did that here. That would be cool because it'd be cool to find a 74 plate for this.
Oh yeah, they do that in Kansas. I just refuse to pay the price for it. I got tags like that for all my cars, but they consider it like a customized plate, and the fee here for that yearly is stupid.
Really? Because here it's a permanent tag. You just pay. When I got mine, I have them on a 70 Dart. I paid $10 one time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
Never
our
even have to
tag,
renew.
antique tags, you pay for it once, and it's property tax every year. But when you have a custom, like a vanity plate, it's no longer that. It's
That's crazy.
yearly. You got to pay like a yearly fee.
Oh man, that's a ransom. That's terrible.
Well,
You
it's
want to see the
county.
very
What did
first
you just say
design
to get
plate
our
that
sticker?
Mississippi had?
Sure.
151.
Very first design plate was in 1977, and it had the magnolia leaf on it.
Okay, so you're saying that's old, William, because it's the same year I am.
Did you notice how I'm covering up the county because I collect the tags from where I live, so covering up the county.
Oh, you don't want people to know what county you live in?
No.
All right,
Well,
how much
one
you
of the
pay?
oldest
People right
ones.
where I'm at. They can't
One of the
get back
oldest
here.
ones I have though is this one here.
Oh,
I've actually
That's
got
cool.
another one. I actually got another one that's only like a few numbers off from that.
Oh, see, now
That's
I'm
cool.
making fun of the guys at the swap meet, and William is one of them guys.
he is one of those.
Yeah, I almost feel bad.
I think
now,
I
but-
have single-handedly drove up the prices for the plates that in the county I live in on
and the
eBay
brass
because
plated fans too, right?
one of them went for sale. One of them is up for sale. That is somebody's asking a crazy price for it. Because every time I
It
see
was
one up for
funny.
sale and I have the money to get it, I buy it. But if
It
it's
was
too high, I
funny.
don't
We're
buy
on
it.
Discord, and we always send each other links on Discord to stuff that's on Facebook Marketplace for sale, and we always do it trying to make somebody buy something. And I found this guy had these like 4 brass bladed fans, and I'm like, here you go, William, check this out.
He never got back to me.
I know.
They never
But it's
got
like,
back to me.
It's fun
But-
spending somebody else's money.
My dad was trying to design
That's cool.
something to go
I
on the
love
front of the
that.
Charger.
I love that movie.
It's actually on the back of the Dodge County plate.
Huh.
That's freaking cool.
I always wanted to do something with that to kind of finish it out to put it on there, but I just hadn't done it.
See, I don't have cool old stuff.
It'd be kind of cool to have that on the front of the car.
All my cool old stuff is covered in grease.
Same.
A lot of my old
Useful
stuff is
entertainments in the house.
a
Oh,
lot of my
Marty.
old stuff is electrical and antique fans.
I still don't know what to think about these 2 Oldsmobile engines sitting over here in my shop. They're looking, they look at me like they don't like me.
The reason one of them's
If
being
you need
used
help with Oldsmobile engines,
computer bag
Useful
holder.
Entertainment, Marty's the guy to talk to.
Well, I'm hoping that once we get into this, I can get a hold of Dallas because he knows about those Olds engines, doesn't he?
Useful
You know, Nolan
motors.
Huh? What'd you say, John?
from Wild Rose Garage is a really good one to ask about Oldsmobile.
Okay.
Yeah. Dallas too. He's more of a Buick guy, but
Yeah.
within the specialties of those engines, Dallas is an Oldsmobile diehard, or not Dallas. Nolan is the Oldsmobile diehard.
Okay. Well, I knew there'd be somebody I could ask. You know, that's a great thing about doing this YouTube and getting to know everybody. If you got
Marty's the one
something
who
that you
taught me
don't
about
know
all the
nothing about, there's always somebody to ask.
Yeah.
Marty.
Yeah,
Marty's
Marty.
the one who taught me about all the different cylinder head castings and which ones were better, which ones were shit. He knows like all the intricacies of every single year for the cylinder heads.
Marty was at No Name, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah, I
the Buick
didn't get a
wagon.
chance to really meet him. I wish I could have. Hopefully next year.
Yeah,
He's like me, but short.
again, he's Oldsmobile guy. We've got guys that specialize in all kinds of things. Like if I want to know something about an FE engine, I'd ask Barrows. That's his specialty, right? I mean, we've got people who are in every niche of this thing.
If you want to know about a Cushman, we got a guy right here that
That's
can tell
right.
you about Cushman.
I
That's
wouldn't call
right.
myself an expert in Cushmans, but I do have some parts books for and
You know,
manuals
you
for
are
mine.
probably the closest expert to a Cushman that we will ever find.
Marty
That
said
ain't no
ask
shit.
him 68 to 90 olds V8 is the only motors he
Yep.
does.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool.
That's great.
All
Yeah,
right.
So there you go.
Yep.
great engines. I mean, I'm a Mopar guy, but I appreciate a lot of these other engines.
They just look alien. They look like little alien engines over there.
I'll tell you, one of the funnest cars I have ever driven was a 91 Buick Century with the 3.3. That was one super peppy motor, and it was fun as hell to drive.
Hmm.
Usually on those older cars, they don't have really good throttle response. Not on these cars. On these cars, the throttle response is immediate, and they are just downright fun.
I want to see if you guys can see something. Because that Oldsmobile, I don't know if anybody watched the video, but it had been in a fire. Can you see that rear end with that wheel on it there?
Yeah.
The melted wheel?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you hadn't tried to get that off yet.
I will. I want to hang them. There's two of them. I want to hang one of them on the wall.
Make a dumbbell out of them.
Hey.
You could do curls.
But yeah, I saw that car when it was in he had a guy. He bought the car. He only paid. He got a set of new quarter panels. He's got a 70 Olds Cutlass convertible that he's building. My buddy making. And he went to go buy these because this guy wanted like $200 for this set of new quarter panels. So he goes out to the guy's house, and the guy's like, for $250, you could have that old burnt car too. So he paid $250 for the car with the motor, transmission, rear end, and those quarter panels. That 400 turbo is a good $300 core right there. So he made money. He always runs into deals like that.
Yeah, some people
He's the
do.
same guy at a swap meet. Somebody will have something for $30, and he'll be like, "I'll give you $3 for it." and you know, every once in a while, somebody says, "Okay, fine, just get rid of it."
One of my favorites. There was a guy that sold. He sold parts, and he was in Princeton. He said he goes to a swap meet. And there was a guy next to him that had been trying to sell this handful of GM parts, and he had an instrument cluster out of, I think it was like a 74 5 Camaro, but it had a lot of problems. It was a rough one, right? And he had it sitting there with his stuff, and he tried all weekend to sell it, right? He tried to sell it, I think, for $15 and $10. He couldn't sell it. And when he left, he just left it on the trash can. He left it sitting next to the trash can. After the guy left, somebody came walking by and said, "Hey, is that your instrument panel?" My friend said, "Yeah." "What do you want for it?" $25. Sold. There's a lot of luck that goes into the whole swap meet thing. I just thought that was great.
Got to be in the right place at the right time.
He didn't know the guy or anything. He just had the space next to him. If he knew him, he would have said, "Hey, let me at least split this with you." But He was just gone. He didn't know who he was, but I thought that was pretty good.
Did you see on? I don't know if you were there on my last live. That my uncle, the one who used to have that 40, who had that 49 Ford, he's getting out of building cars altogether.
Huh? No.
And he called me up and he's like, do you need any nuts and bolts, just hardware? I'm like, yeah. I go, how much you got? He's like, I'm like, do I need to bring the car or the truck? He's like, bring the truck.
Oh, wow.
I had a truckload of coffee cans.
Wow.
Full of nuts and bolts.
Wow. What a score.
Look at this. Hold on. This is my favorite. You need a belt? They're all brand new. I'm sure I can find one that'll fit this duster in this. If not, I got the worst luck ever.
You need to have a video when it comes time to you putting belts on that car. You need to have a video of you grabbing that stack and then okay, that won't work. That won't work.
Through it.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do that like in sped up.
Yeah.
Useful entertainment. If you find no takers, Nolan, Wild Rose Garage, he'd probably be all about that.
Would Megan want an old big block that'll work?
There was one thing that was. There was an Edelbrock intake on that burnt motor. We went all through it, look at that intake, and it didn't get hurt. What's funny is we got the water neck actually melted down into the intake, and there's like a square piece of aluminum rattling around in there that we got to cut in half to get out of there to use the tip for the intake. It's funny, but the intake didn't seem to get hurt at all.
That's funny.
But I'll ask him about that if he wants to get another intake. He's always buying stuff.
I can get you in touch with Marty.
Okay, yeah.
Andy Woods says the hardware will $20 you to death.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's
$20 it does. Hardware eats you up.
And what was really cool is he was an airplane mechanic. So a lot of these bolts and stuff are like grade 8 airplane bolts.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
For home from work.
That's a real score, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
I keep getting closer to doing it. I'm going to do it before too long. I'm actually going to invest in an assortment of hardware so that I have, the bins and everything to stock the stuff I use the most. Because I'm telling you, having to stop for 30 minutes just to go see if you have what you need in stock. I have a place close to me that's convenient, but even at that, it's worth a few grand to stock the stuff that, and then you get good stuff, grade 8 and washer head bolts and all the common stuff. And
when all my stuff slows down a little bit, I'm going to have to go through all, because that's going to be the hard part now, is everything's in coffee cans. So It's like I need a bolt. You got to dump this out and look and dump. I want to actually try to organize it.
I cannot tell you how much time it took when we moved Tony's shop. All of that freaking hardware, cans and cans of every specialty, like nut and washer faced and bolts and quick. Fortunately, I knew what most of it was because it's Mopar stuff, but man, it was a lot of stuff. And you sweep, and it's just like just sweeping the corners. You'd find another can full. It was something.
You know what's bad is my dad has done that. He's been a mechanic like all his life, but he'd have his set of tools at work. And then he'd have tools at home. Like, when he'd get new work tools, he'd bring tools home, but he would take all his sockets and just throw them in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So when I wanted to work on anything, it's like, I need a socket. There's the bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go through a 5-gallon bucket of sockets. It was like, oh my God.
We always had the bolt box, a 50 caliber can of nothing but hardware. And you'd open that thing. It was a World War II, so it would hinge on the side, right? Which it is means basically you can't pour anything out. You pretty much just off or on dumping that thing out. And I remember that can, a 50 caliber ammo can full of hardware. I mean, I don't know what it weighs, 50 pounds? I remember having to lug that thing when I was 7, 8 years old, out to the driveway finding stuff. And I still have the can, and it's still probably 2/3 of the way full of obscure stuff. I mean, like square nuts and weird threaded things. And I can do a whole video just on the concept of that can.
I have
You
a bunch
thought
of
that the
similar.
belts were a score. Hold on.
I have some similar containers of random bolts and hardware.
Yeah. No, hardware is a big thing. I went to the junkyard not long ago, and the junkyards here now, they charge for all your bolts and hardware. And it around here it wasn't like that till recently. They ding you on all the bolts and all the hardware. I'm like,
I have probably spent way too much money on buying hardware at O'Reilly's because I didn't want to drive.
You gotta go to the hardware store to go.
Because I didn't want to drive down the street to Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah. Lots of bits.
That's nice.
Drill bits. I got 2 of these. Like this.
Do you have a drill doctor?
Huh?
Do you have a drill doctor, or are you like one of those old school show-offs that likes to sharpen your drill bits on a bench?
I can sharpen them on a grinder.
Yeah, I was trained to do it too, but it's a pain. I have a drill doctor.
Well, the thing is, most of these are new, like maybe used once.
I figured as a machinist, you probably know the classic way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to learn.
Oh yeah.
See, Dad just always taught me drill bit goes dull, throw it away, grab another one.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. The machine shop I worked at, to get up to a certain group, you had to learn how to sharpen a drill bit. After you learned, you never did it again. You just went to the tool crib and grabbed another drill bit.
Do you remember the coast angle on the face of the bits? We got tested on all that stuff when I had to learn. It's like 12 degrees, and then it's I don't know what it was. It was like 37 or some weird angle. It's yeah, it was fun.
The worst is when you're sitting there practicing, and then you show your boss, like, look what I do. He's like, oh yeah, that looks good. Do it again.
Did he test you making you make 2 even cuts with the bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's the test. Because a lot of people that would look at it and say, oh, that's perfect. And they go to run it, and it will be sitting one spiral and just hammering. And like, no.
Yeah. There was one guy actually doing his test, sharpening one for his test. And supervisor walked up and said, let me see that. And he looked at it, and he was like, burn. And the guy was like, that was my test. He was like, oh, shit. So what he did is he sat there and he sharpened the drill bit for the guy and said, there you go. You passed.
The ones that were hard to do, I used to do them for a shop that they would get these gigantic bits from the coal mines. And I bet those bits were like a 2-inch diameter bit, right? And to sharpen those on, of course, there's no drill doctor for those. So you go to the grinder and you got to start like it's a lawnmower blade. So you start with it like this, just trying to get a face on each side. And then once you got a face on each side, then you start trying to get the angle on each side. And you can't just go up like you do with a bit at an angle, because if you do, it won't make
you'd have to have a wheel this wide.
That's exactly, because the wheel is too small. So you have to adapt your technique for running because of the size of the bit. And that is really hard to get right. And you'll get one side looking good and the other to be uneven. It's a mess. It's hard
like a little 5/16 or 3/8 drill. You can just walk up and go zoop zoop there.
Oh, those are easy, yeah.
But the bigger it is, the harder it is to get it right, just because there's so much.
Those little ones, I get to where I can take them and just spin them in my fingers and put my hand on the tool rest and just zip them up and turn them around and zip them up. But those big ones are a pain. You can't do that once you get to about a half.
Well, and most people just do that, though. They just say, it's dull, I'll buy another one. But, you know.
I need to
I
get me
always
one of
wanted
those
to-
drill doctors.
You want to save a little bit of money, learn to sharpen a drill, or buy like
Yeah.
a drill doctor. You know,
I
drill
really need to buy
doctors
one of
save you a
those.
lot of money.
That was a good invention. Whoever came up with that thing, though.
But yeah, I've got 2 drawers full of drills like that now from my
Yep.
uncles. I've got a box up there full of different hose clamps, just all different hose clamps. And he's still got more he's wanting to give me. Hell, he gave me 3 jacks. My dad took one for his truck. He gave me 3 floor jacks.
How many
I've
jacks do you have?
got 4 or 5 different more. I think 6 jack stands. He's got another cherry picker and another engine stand, which I really like the engine stand because you never have enough of those. Especially since mine are all being taken up by Oldsmobiles right now. I also got another good piece of news Sunday, and it may actually work out to being something that in time I end up doing on the channel. But my machinist, like for my engines and stuff, the guy I go to, I was talking to him. He was at the swap meet, and we talked for a little while. To make a long story short, I asked him, I go, well, how would you feel about an unpaid apprentice? And we talked a little bit more, and he said, yeah, we can work something out. So like I could go out there 1 or 2 days a week and start actually learning how to do the stuff I really want to learn how to do,
Cool.
instead of just putting holes in random shit like I do at work.
Yeah. Neat.
Would you please turn the camera around and show the Oldsmobile motors?
Oh,
for Marty?
I could do that. I could do that. He could go watch my video on the burnt one. Let's see. Let's show off the aliens. There's a 455 block. That's the burnt one. The one on the other side is the 350 he got for his convertible. I can't really get over there. But yeah, that's them. That was the thing that taught me about the 30% vinegar and being able to take rust out of stuff.
No, Dean, that is his buddy's motors.
Yeah, I'm not building no
He
Oldsmobile.
says, "Has Brian come unfaithful?"
No,
Yeah, they're not Brian's side engines.
no. But yeah, he's gonna put that 455 back together. He's not gonna go crazy with it, but it's going in a 87 Cutlass.
Yeah.
So it'll be a fun little ride. He had a 9-second Nova.
What
It was I don't know. I don't know even where to look. But no, he had a legitimate mid 9-second Nova. And he was the first person that taught me that drum brakes aren't bad, because he still had drum brakes on the front of that car.
So
But,
I'm looking at the chat over here. Bear Rose is wondering why BOPs have that U dip in the bell housing on the transmission. I don't know why that. Why is that? Did somebody answer that? Because that is interesting. Because Chevrolets have that big peak on them that doesn't do anything.
Where did Jed go?
In Discord, apparently.
Oh,
I don't know, but he just shared something messed up in Discord.
Yeah.
oh man! If the people saw half the stuff we put up in that, we'd all
You'd be forever banned from YouTube.
yeah.
Night, Patrick.
Yeah, I'm going to call
Oh,
it a night too.
Patrick, don't leave yet. I wonder if he left already. But have you seen that car you seen that car Dylan McCool's doing, that cop car?
Yeah.
He's
I have
wanting to
seen
put
that.
turbos on it, and I said in his comments, I was like, you need to get in touch with Patrick. If you're putting a Magnum motor in that with turbos, Patrick is the guy who will tell you
Yeah.
everything you need.
That's the guy with the recipe.
Even though on that last video he kept saying that was a 360 and he pulled the heads off of it and it had flat pistons. I'm like, nah, that's you got yourself a 318. I've made that mistake twice already.
Well, I still got a little bit of stuff to do before I can go to sleep. So y'all have a great evening.
All right, we'll talk to you later. It was good talking
Thank
to
you
you.
much for having me. It's a lot of fun. We don't do this very often, but it's sure as a blast when we do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to start doing them more.
Thank you guys in the chat. Y'all have a good evening. We'll see you.
See you later.
See you.
Later, Jed.
Oh, shit. Oh, you know what? I bet he sent that in Discord from the bathroom. That makes it worse.
Did you see what it was?
No, we're not going to share it either.
No.
All right, what do we got? Who's talking in chat? I can't see it from here. Oh, that's bad. All right, what do we got going on in chat? Where did Ken go? Is Ken still in chat?
I think Ken disappeared on us.
Ken keeps disappearing. He could have come in here. The link's in Discord.
No, Aaron, it was not.
What?
Was it a photo of a brown trout?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It could have been knowing him.
Let's just say a photo of a brown trout would have been better.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
One of our mysteries. All right. Where do I look at for the letter on these heads? I heard something about they got letters on them and stuff.
Okay. Let me go back up to what Marty was saying. The 455 should be a letter. The 350 should be a number.
No, these got a letter. I can't remember what letter they are, though. And I really don't want to dig them out until I know where to look.
Okay.
Because heads are
By the
heavy.
spark plug.
Heads are heavy, and I'm lazy. What spark? There's 4 spark plugs in each head. All right. E. E. Let's see. What are they talking about in chat?
Jed.
Are they turning it into the weird hour in chat?
Because of Jed.
Jed did the weird hour while he was in the bathroom. What?
Aaron said, I heard that and thought he saw a mouse. E!
No. It's the letter E on these 455 heads.
Okay. Marty says 1970 heads, best you can get.
Okay. Well, this motor came out of a 70 Cutlass that was in a garage fire.
It's probably original then.
You should go watch the video. Not many people have watched my Oldsmobile videos. Oh, man. So what are you doing to the Charger? You can't keep everything a secret.
I'm only keeping the details of my plans for the burnout competition a secret.
You can't give us a hint?
I need to tune. I'm not divulging anything. If I say anything, it'll give it away. I need to tune the carburetor a little bit better. The low RPM performance just off idle is what's giving me some quirks. And I need to change my power steering output shaft seal because it's leaking. And fix the massive exhaust leak, but it's cold outside now, so I'm probably going to wait till it warms back up to do that.
You can take
I need to take the instrument cluster back out of the dart so I can fix the wiper linkage.
What was the company that made that instrument cluster?
The Intellitronics.
Intellitronics. Are they still making them, or
Yes, they are.
do they make them for anything else?
They make them for a bunch of stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look them up.
And they do also have a build your own custom dash kit too, where you buy the gauges and then you build it yourself. You put them in whatever configuration, whatever order you want.
I have a project that's going to be coming up that I may want to do something like that with.
You may have to do the build your own. If it's for the vehicle I'm thinking of, it's I don't think they have anything for that one.
There's Jed.
I had to poop.
You caused, look at chat. You caused the weird hour in chat by just leaving.
I had to poop.
That's what it's all about. There's a lot of people concerned about your pooping.
Oh,
Poor man 78 comment.
how the hell did they know I went to go poop?
We just assumed.
Because you were gone for so long.
Well, I had to look on Facebook. You know, I found a really messed up meme that Marty shared, and I had to put it in Discord. It was just too fantastic.
Yeah, we were talking about that, but we didn't tell anybody what it was. So
Yeah, it's just following orders.
it would be a community standard strike if we were to talk about it.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
No, it's not.
It's perfectly fine.
Well, you can. It's fine to say what the text is, just don't describe anything.
No,
further.
we're not even going to do that. We're not doing any of it. No,
He's just
saying
leaving
off
it
my
alone.
channel.
It's
If you
just
wouldn't say it on your own channel, don't say it on mine.
I'll make the joke on mine. I think it's fantastic.
Oh shit!
It's not like he's leaving Disneyland. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
That's a really fucked up way to describe Disneyland.
yeah, that's new subject. No name. Burnout champion.
I need to make a list of people I want to invite to the Discord.
Yeah,
Then I'm going to talk.
I think Marty's got to be one of them.
Well, I'm going to I'll talk with you guys because you guys are most active in our Discord, and we'll make a list of people we think that'll be good contributors.
I still think you ought to do what we were talking about the other night.
I don't know if I want to do that though. I mean, it'd be cool, but I kind of like our Discord to be our Discord.
Yeah. Okay. Aaron, you can come in our Discord, don't you think? Peckerwood? Aaron?
Yeah, he's on my Facebook. Yeah.
I could actually read chat down close enough. My old man eyes can see it.
But by the way, if anybody's curious, everything did come out just fine.
I can't believe you sent her that truck. The only reason you sent her that truck is because it was red. Oh, now it's back to us.
Business.
Mr. Big Time YouTuber, Big Dick Swinging.
It's Roseman. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I do need to do some more work on the Cushman. That's probably the next thing I'm going to be working on. We got to finish getting the bolts in the rear end to stop it from moving whenever I drive it. And I need to get some headlight retainers, the thin wire headlight retainers for it, so I can get the headlight put back in. Then I can make the seat. I've got a brown weatherproof vinyl or whatever it is that I'm gonna use to make the seat.
Are you going to do any like body work to it, or are you going to leave it looking the way it is?
I'm gonna leave it looking just like it is because it has such a unique look.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that because it's the cheapest way to go.
It is the cheapest way to go, though.
It is the cheapest way to go, but I do love the way it looks.
Because there's some of these guys that spend a whole lot of money to put fake patina on stuff.
Yeah, and this is the genuine article. This is it is what it is. And the closer you look at it, it looks like it's actually been painted a couple of times. Now, I have tried to straighten up the rear fenders a little bit because they are a little bit bent up, but I have been able to get them straightened up a little bit more. So once I get it to where I'm driving it on the road, I do want to try to at least get them a little bit more straight. But that battery box I did is installed and looking good, so it's all good.
Oh, that's something I still got to do to this. That's all part of wiring. I got to get a trunk mount battery box for it.
I thought about moving the battery on my charger to the trunk, but I don't know if I want to do all that hassle.
Well, you don't want the weight back there for burnouts. You want the back to be light for burnouts.
You realize I had probably about 100 pounds or more crap in my trunk when I did that.
Yeah, I
body.
know. Think if you'd have blown those tires if you wouldn't have had that stuff back there.
Jed was astonished that I had all that crap in the trunk when I was doing the burnout. I didn't even think to take it out, man. It's just there.
I see Jeff, Two Hacks Jeff's in here. I'm going to see Jeff. If you want to jump in, I'll see about. I may have to go a roundabout a way to get you a link, but I'll get you a link.
Yeah, Bear Rose said patina is harder than people think because you can't fix anything. If you fix one thing, you have to do it all.
Yeah. If you do any body work to a patinaed car, you might as well.
Actually, the
It's
front.
easier. Let me say it's easier just to paint the son of a bitch.
The front body piece on this Cushman, it had the Cushman used Phillips head screws everywhere, and Phillips head screws strip out very easily if you don't have a big enough Phillips head. So most of these were stripped out, and instead of getting them out, the body piece goes down and then forward. No, it's down and back, and then it screws into the frame right there. Well, the person who was taking this thing apart cut the front cowl piece, the front body panel cowl piece, whatever you call it, right there at the frame to be able to take it off. I understand why they did it because they couldn't get the screws out, but I had to weld it back on. And I knew I wanted to throw some paint on it after I did that. So what I did was I found some brick red spray paint that looks similar to the rest of the red or rust that was on there, that was on the Cushman. So I spray painted the areas that I did my repair in that brick red spray paint, and it did mask it pretty good.
Now, did you do that on? Did you do that on video?
Pretty sure that's on video on the Cushman. Yeah, I think it was when I was doing the body work. Had to do a little bit of hammer and dolly work to straighten up some stuff, but turned out pretty well. Was happy when I was finally able to somewhat call it permanently install that front body piece, because before that it was all loose and all that. So when I got the brakes squared away, I was honestly worried that I would have a leak, but I bled the brakes and I don't have any leaks on the brakes on that Cushman. So I basically replaced everything from the master cylinder all the way back. Everything's brand new. Honestly, I can't wait to drive that Cushman again. It is so fun driving it. The whole thing's kind of got a lean to the left or the right. I don't remember. No, I think it's a lean to the right. I'm gonna have to see if I can adjust that rear leaf spring to see if I can get it straightened back up.
There we go.
Now I'm gonna try to get the dart out tomorrow. Let me actually check the weather. If it's not raining tomorrow, I probably want to do a. I've got 360 driving videos on my Charger on my truck, but I don't have one on the Dart yet. So I'm thinking I want to try to do one tomorrow.
Yeah, because you got that car running and driving, right?
Running and driving, but the I'm gonna have to probably do that mod you suggested on the wiper linkage, to drill a hole through the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I had to do on my Dakota because I don't know what it is, but it just kept popping off no matter what I did. So I drilled and tapped a little hole and then put a screw in a washer and it just held it on there and it did fine forever.
That's what I'm gonna have to do because I do not want to have to worry about this linkage popping off in the middle of me driving in the rain.
Yeah, that's the worst. I mean, and that's the only time it's going to do it too.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to pop off when you don't need it to.
And I'm trying to build this car honestly to where if I wanted to, I could drive it every day.
I still have some wiper linkage if you want to try like another piece. I still have the wiper linkage from this one.
I'm pretty sure the wiper linkage I have is fine. I just think I think the problem was it was a little bit bent and I didn't straighten it back out before I tried to reinstall it. I think that may have been the problem. And I think it bent because one of the well, for one, the linkage popped off and turning the motor on just moved it and got the linkage in a bind and kind of went from straight to kind of angled a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. Those older motors, they just like a newer motor will just stop. They're not. They don't have any strength behind them because they really don't need it.
Yeah.
The older motors, they just, you know.
They don't care.
No.
It says, "Get out of my way! I am moving." But yeah, I just need to pull the instrument cluster.
6 inches of ice on your windshield. We're going through that shit.
I just need to pull the instrument cluster again so I can gain access to where that is. I may actually try to pull that motor out completely if it's somewhat easy, but I think it pulls out from the inside. I don't remember. No, that pulls out from the motor, from the engine compartment, I think, right?
No, the motor.
Yeah, the motor itself.
Yeah, that comes out through the engine compartment. All the wiper stuff is right there.
I may actually do
Under the
do
dash.
that. Just pull the motor, pull the wiper motor to get that piece of linkage, drill and tap that hole in it, and then go from there.
I need to cut the studs off for these wiper, whatever those are called.
Wiper pivots.
Yeah, I need to cut the studs off on this to save me some weight. Yeah, I know it's only a couple ounces. Jed would have something to say about me saying that.
I'm just happy that my wiper pivots weren't actually frozen. I got to messing with one of them was probably frozen because one of them was probably frozen because the linkage was still partially attached, but it was off the motor. And it just didn't move. And I messed with it, and it actually broke free, which means it probably just broke those plastic clips off the rest of the way.
Well, the thing is, I got to go through. Well, I'm going to hopefully be getting the second shop over there to put store all my stuff, store all my junk, so I can just work on cars in this one. And when I do that, I'm going to go through everything I got because I probably got a whole nother wiper setup because I parted out another 74 Duster here. That's where all the yellow parts for this car came from.
Yeah. The only thing I wasn't quite sure about the wiper linkage on this thing is that when I had it connected and it was moving, it seemed like the park position was really high on the windshield. I mean, it stopped and it was low, but it wasn't as low as I was thinking it should be.
I've had that happen.
So honestly, I don't know if I don't think I have any of the linkage mixed up, because it's kind of hard to get that mixed up, because it's really only like two pieces. It's the piece that connects the two, and then the other piece that goes from the motor to the first, I think it's the left side wiper arm, the pivot.
Did you see what Two Hacks said? He removed the wiper
No.
system on the Bird. It was controlled hydraulically off the power steering. Jesus.
Oh wow. I've heard of vacuum operated, but I haven't heard of hydraulically operated wipers before. That's cool.
Does that Dart have a for the windshield squirters? Does it have a motor?
No.
Does it have a foot pump on it?
It has the foot pump on the floor.
That's what I'm saying. He's got hydraulically controlled wiper blades, and we got a foot pump on the floor to squirt the fucking windshield with.
My 1970 truck has the same thing. I've actually got an extra pump that could probably use on the Dart if I need it now too.
Oh, I've got one here too if you need it. It's the same year and everything.
I haven't tried it yet, but I would imagine it works, but I don't know. I'm trying to save up some money to get some carpet to go in the Dart. I actually found some on Rock Auto for like $150, just black carpet. And I've actually still got it. I haven't installed it yet, but I got a box of the Jegs sound deadener stuff that Jed put in. I think it was in his dad's van.
Yeah, he did that. My other project, my secret project that's coming along, I'm going to be doing sound deadener all over it.
Yeah,
I got carpet in this. Jed, actually, I got it from Jed. It was some carpet that he had for a duster and he's not going to put it in his. I think he's just going to go back with the floor mat in his, the rubber mat.
Yeah.
So I got this from him, and it don't look bad in here. When you throw carpet down, it makes everything look better.
I've actually got Jezebel's old black carpet.
I guess Jed just doesn't like carpet. You have to ask him when he comes back what he's got against carpet. Now, your headliner is the cardboard headliner, right?
Cardboard. I'm gonna see if I can take it out without damaging it, and just get some of that fabric and vinyl dye, and that I think it's who makes that? Duplicolor.
Yeah.
And because I use some of that stuff on the tan door panels I put in my 1970 truck, and it never peeled. It never chipped.
Was it on the hard plastic?
It was on the hard plastic.
Huh? Because the only time I ever had luck with that on the hard plastic is, and I'm probably gonna be doing this, so I might actually make a video on it. You get they sell adhesion promoter, and you spray that on there first. It's almost like primer, but it's adhesion promoter. It's what it is. And then, but like for the soft stuff, I've never had a problem with that stuff cracking or anything. I did the dash on this.
I ran those door panels were originally blue.
Yeah.
And when I used them, when I used those door panels on my truck, I had them on there for well over a year, and never had any chipping or peeling or anything. Now, when I was prepping it, I did clean really good with a Scotch-Brite pad, the door panel. So I did get all the old any old dirt or anything that was on the door panels was off, and I cleaned it up, wiped it up, and did all my prep work on it, and never
Yeah.
had
Well, the
any
thing is,
never
like
had anything.
my old satellite, I used that vinyl dye on the door panels, and it flaked off right away. But I was a kid; I didn't go through the steps of cleaning it up real good or anything.
Yeah,
You know, some people say I spray painted it, but I didn't. But
I'm gonna
that's a
have to
story
see
for
if I
another
can.
time.
I'm gonna have to see if I can very carefully take out that headliner in the dart whenever I do get around to really going to town with painting the interior stuff black. Because
I did find out if you have, like, say you've got a car with tan interior and you want to turn it all black, don't waste your money on the vinyl dye for the carpet.
oh yeah,
Just
I'm
use,
just
just
replacing the
use spray
carpet.
paint. No, just use spray paint. If the carpet's good, just spray paint it.
The carpet's
That
not good.
paint will soak into that carpet, and the carpet will look like it was always black,
Carpet is
and it
not
will
good.
never come off.
Unfortunately, this carpet is not good, and replacing
Yeah.
it is about the only way to make it look nice.
Well, that, and honestly, for a lot of these cars, I don't know about like Jeff's T-Bird or anything, but like for the Dusters and stuff like that, buying the carpet kit form's like $100. You
Well,
know?
for the two-door Dart Sport model, the cheapest I have found it is actually on Rock Auto. Believe it or not,
How much is it?
it's like $150.
Yeah.
That is
Well, okay,
that is
$150. But
that is the
still, for
plain.
$150, the change it'll make in that
Yeah,
car.
that is just the plain carpet. That is not any kind of extra special stuff or features with it. That is just the carpet itself.
Yeah, but if
So,
you're gonna
uh,
if you're gonna put the sound deadener down, the
oh
newer
yeah,
sound deadener down and stuff, you don't
yeah,
need to have
that's
that
all I
whole.
need. Yeah, and honestly, on
And it'll
top
probably
of
look a
putting
hundred times. It's probably 100 times better quality carpet than what they had in 1974. Even the
74,
cheapest stuff now is probably better than the stuff they had back then.
yeah, but the on top of putting that sound ender stuff down, I've got a big roll of reflective bubble mat that people use that's normally used
Yeah,
a sun deflector.
yeah, I know
I've
what you're
actually
talking
got
about.
2 long strips of that under the carpet in the Charger right now. When I put
You
the
know where
sound
that would
ender
probably do
down,
real good is under like the headliners in these, the cardboard headliner. If you could put some of that up in there, it would probably help a lot too. The reflective
I've got
side
the
up.
same thing in the roof on the Charger right now too. But yeah, the I want to try to put some of that stuff on top of the sound ender that I'll put on the floor itself. I'll roll that out and have just a sheet going in the driver's footwell and the passenger footwell, just kind of like a double up.
Mohawk says that they use that the Bulldog adhesion promoter. My one of my landlords, she does body work, and she said that she used that Bulldog adhesion promoter. She was testing it out. She put it on plastic and then painted over it and put it on top of her shed at home for a year in the sun, rain, snow, everything. And when she went back and looked at it after a year, it looked perfect. Nothing flaked off anything. So yeah, she was telling me about that bulldog. When you said that, I just thought of that. I wonder where you. I guess I could look it up online and find some. I'd like to get some of that.
I actually think Mopar Man 78. I actually think this stuff from Rock Auto I think comes from stock interiors, because I googled the name that Rock Auto sells it under, and I'm pretty sure that the stock interiors website pulled up. So I don't know how they're getting a cheaper price on it, but Rock Auto could sell it cheaper.
Rock Auto, I don't know how they do it. I really wish somebody could come in here and explain to me how Rock Auto does their stuff, because we've got two lower control arms ordered for her car. It's a lower control arm with the ball joint on it for that 06 Charger. And at AutoZone, they wanted $85 a piece for them. On Jegs, I seen them, they wanted $106 a piece. Through Rock Auto, we got both of them for $108. And they're moved. They're the exact same part.
For parts like that, yeah, Rock Auto knocks it out of the freaking park most of the time for the stuff I need like that.
I mean, I guess you know, you gotta wait. You know, it's not like you could just go to the parts store and pick it up. But on parts like that you can wait on.
Yeah, I mean, usually for me, when I order it on Rock Auto and it's during the week, like 3 days shipping time, and pretty much I'll have it.
Well, this they said was going to be delivered Monday. We ordered it on Thursday. They said it was going to be delivered on Monday, but then they changed it to it'll be delivered tomorrow. So if it comes in time tomorrow, I'm just going to zip them on, because the lower control arms on those Chargers are weird, but it looks like they'd be real easy to change, but they're weird.
Yeah. I had to change the lower control arm on my mom's, I think it's a 2010 Chevrolet HHR before she got rid of it. And it was actually really easy to change those. It's really, really easy. No alignment necessary.
You got to pop the ball joint out, and it's got one bolt.
Yeah. It was super. If you're replacing the whole control arm as an assembly, yeah, it'll be real easy.
You get to sit in my chair.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because
I don't like your chair.
Too bad.
Jed's back.
Jed's back. He's gone again.
I guess he's just letting us know that we're still that he's still there.
I still can't get over looking at this engine in this car.
You need to get it running.
I know I do. Shut up.
Hot wire that thing, man. Just put a battery in, hot wire it.
There ain't no hot wiring. I did find a starter. And you know,
I say we got a battery over there.
I'm gonna test that old starter, and if it works, I'm gonna hook it up to the battery. And if it works, I'm gonna clean it up and throw it in there. What's up, Jason? Because the problems that I've had with her alternators on her cars, I really don't want to buy anything new electrical. If that starter was working, it's probably old enough it's going to keep on working, and it'll probably end up working longer than a new one anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like we're gonna be going out to Jed's next weekend, and I'm dreading driving out there because I'm gonna be worried about the damn alternator the whole time.
Have faith in it, man.
I don't have faith in anything from any new stuff anymore. The only thing is now I'm bringing a jack, and I'm going to bring the tools. So if we got to buy another or exchange it for another alternator on the way, I'll be able to change it on the side of the road, because I've gotten pretty good at it.
That's bad. You can get good at changing something just because you've had bad luck with parts.
Yeah. Yes, Two Hacks. I would love, once I get this thing to get it started up and running, you can come down and we'll tune on this thing all day long. I could invite a few people over and we could have a big tuning party. That would be cool as hell. And all of us make videos on it.
I would. I know
I
I'm
still
going
need
to
to
Indy
get
with
up
y'all, but I would still love to be able to come up some other time and just hang out.
I'm actually planning on doing more of that. Just going, like to see you come down, hang out for a weekend. I go see Jed all the time. I want to go out and see. I want to go out to Nashville now because I'd like to hang out with Tall John and hang out with Mopar Al and everybody else. Go out there for a weekend.
And Jeff's not that far from us.
No, Jeff, we could shit, Jeff. I could walk to Jeff. No, I can't. I'm too old for that shit. But still,
We could go up there tomorrow if we wanted to.
yeah, if I wanted to. Jeff don't want my rowdy ass up at his place. So.
Jed's a little bit too far for me to just drive on a whim. So
Well, it's 4 hours for me out to his house. So
yeah,
it'd probably
I'm
be
like 8 hours.
yeah. But you just got to make a weekend of it. Make a 3-day weekend of it. You go out there on one day, you get there at night, spend the night in a hotel. Just don't pick the one hotel. I need to talk to Jed about that because he's got one hotel in his town that nobody needs to stay at. And then you hang out all day, you go crash, and then you drive home the next day. Jed just likes it when we come out this time of year. Jed and his dad both like it because we bring them Christmas cookies.
That's one thing I was missing at No Name. Y'all, Jed and y'all gushed over Sherry's cookies, and I didn't get any cookies.
I don't think she made any.
No.
Everything went to shit.
Uh,
Next year is gonna be different. Like I said, I'm really hoping that they can work it out to where it's at Sykeston again. That's my main hope and prayer. But I've got some plans for our pit. If anybody wants to come over to the dark side pit and hang out with us, I've got some plans for next year.
there's really no telling what could happen in our pit.
I've got a big TV and I want to set it up to play just in the background, just play everybody's videos.
Hopefully, we can have a decent internet setup too.
That's the biggie. That is the biggie.
We already have that taken care of.
Well, I don't know because he said he had a 5G phone and he was having problems. But then again, I mean, this internet that I'm on now, I got maybe 2 bars and I'm not having any problems at all on my 5G internet. So if I can get 2 bars out there, I'll put this little fucking thing up on the camper and use it. Because I really wanted to do a live from out there.
It would have been fun to do a live out there. I don't know if I saw anybody doing any lives out there.
No, I think there was a couple people went live. I don't know. I think Jeff might have gone live a couple times on his phone. I don't know. See, but that's the thing. And I don't know if they changed it or not. But like on a phone, if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you can't go live from a phone. You can go live from a computer like this, like I do.
Yeah.
But you can't go live from a phone. I don't know if they're still doing that.
I've been live. I know I've got over 1,000, but I've been live on my phone a bunch of times.
Yeah, Bear Rose, he said either way, even if it's not in Sykeston, he's wanting to keep it in the general area in the middle of the country. So that's good, because he's had, I know he's had people say, well, why don't you do it on the West Coast? And why don't you do it on the East Coast? And he's like, but then you alienate a lot of people. It's already West Coast. It's already, I think you're going to be hard pressed to get many people from the West Coast to come out. And I'm not saying I hope it's in Sykeston just because it's close for me. I'm hoping it's in Sykeston because that was a great venue. They treated everybody good. I didn't hear nobody complaining about anything out there. It's a good track, They put up with our crazy asses.
There was definitely room for a lot
Oh
more
yeah,
cars there.
yeah. That's why next year it's going to be get there early. I'm going to be getting there early. But he's saying next year that Thursday is going to be like an official. It's going to be more of a meet and greet day.
A
They're going to
hangout
do
day.
like tech. They're going to get a lot of the tech out of the way, the tech
Yeah.
inspection stuff like that out of the way, and then have a good meet and greet time, which is kind of like, well, like Jed was saying, it was hard to get around and meet everybody,
Yeah.
and actually have time to have a conversation because you always had the next person you wanted to go and have and talk to, or somebody would drive by and be like, oh, I wanted to talk to him, and yeah, and I could see it easily doubling with as good as a turnout that had, and even if, but that's the thing, even if it doesn't double, even if they only get 5 more people show up, there was still a lot of people at that event.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the, I mean, it wasn't. I'm not saying it was the size of like Holly Mo Party or anything like that, but for what it is, a grassroots event like that, that just doesn't happen. It
I'm
took a
definitely
lot of good people to show up and make that event what it was.
I'm definitely doing what I can to have the Cushman there next year. Really, I'm honestly with it. I'm not far from being really technically done with it.
Well, the thing is, well, because you've got the 4-door truck, so you got the shorter bed. I bet that cushion would fit in the back of your. What year is your truck? The other one, the green one.
70.
Yeah, it would fit. It would probably fit in because that's probably got an 8-foot bed on it.
I think
So
it's
you just
actually
gotta
I don't know. I don't
you
I
just gotta
don't
get
think
that
it has
truck.
an 8-foot bed. I think it's the next size down.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. It's been a while, been a good while since I've actually measured it. But the swept lines bed is definitely longer than my Ram.
Yeah,
But I did have that Cushman in the back of my Ram bringing it home.
but you had to have the
And
tailgate down, didn't you?
if it I did have to keep the tailgate down, but I might be able to take the tailgate off completely to load it up in there. But my only problem is getting it down and back up safely.
If it drives, you could get those ramps and do it. Believe I used to do stuff with HUD houses, and I would have to load a generator up in the back of my car or my truck, and sometimes I'd have to load riding lawnmowers up. And you try to load a big riding lawnmower up in the back of a Dodge Dakota, that ain't fun. But the ramps, I never had any problem with ramps.
But I would have to get the really wide ramps or get 3 because this is a 3-wheeler.
Well, they make the ones that'll go the full tailgate and then fold down and then come out. They fold up and do all they
Yeah.
got all kinds of crazy shit. Or you could just get a 20-foot trailer.
That's something I'm thinking too, because my neighbor across the street actually has a trailer he said he'd let me use that is, I don't know if it's, I think he said 24 foot.
Oh yeah, that would do it.
That would be plenty to put the Charger on and the Cushman behind it, or the Cushman up front and the Charger behind it.
Yeah.
I think the Cushman on the back would probably be better for weight distribution.
Yeah, it depends on how everything weighs out. But yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. 24-foot trailer, you bring both of them. Then you'd have to
Definitely
set up a
doing what I
Cushman to
can
give
to have.
rides though.
Huh?
Because if they don't get us a porta potty, you'd be in charge of taking everybody to the bathroom in the Cushman. So you got to put another seat in the Cushman somewhere.
It's a 1-seater. You'd have to sit in the bed somewhere.
Okay, you can build a little seat in the bed where you hang your feet off.
I'm actually am thinking about building some kind of foot platform that people can rest. If whoever wants to ride on the back, they can have something to actually rest their foot on.
That would be the thing where we're at. You charge like $3 for a ride to the bathroom. You end up making money at this thing.
Or if I win the burnout competition, I'll be rolling with that, right?
Yeah. Because I know my feet were killing me. Oh my God. I had to spend a whole day just, oh, I was hurting so bad by the end of that event. But while it was going on, I was feeling no pain. But man, afterwards, on the ride home, it was just like my legs were on fire.
Yeah.
That's why I'd like to bring my dad's got a golf cart. I'd like to do some stuff to it and bring it, but they're probably going to come out with us, and they're probably going to be bringing their camper. So I got to get something to tow this down there with, and for us to sleep in. That's why I'm looking for a van. I don't care if it's an old conversion van, Dodge conversion van, whatever. I'm looking for a van because that would give us some place to sleep and something to haul this damn car down with.
Yeah.
Ah.
What are you looking at?
Oh, it's just something where the grill bolts in. I missed a bolt.
Oh.
What do you think I should do? Do you think I should just cut the original hood for this, or spend the 600? I don't know how much money they are anymore for a fiberglass hood, and cut it.
I would see if you can find another hood before doing anything. If you can find another hood that you can use as a sacrificial piece, or one that's in better condition than the one you currently have, and then you can use the one you currently have to cut the hole.
I don't think you can get much better condition than the one I got. The one I got is
Okay.
perfect hood.
Then you can find another one that's in not so perfect condition as a sacrificial piece to cut the hole.
Yeah.
That way you're keeping the good pristine hood, but you're also having another steel hood with cutting the hole, and you don't have to spend the crazy amount of money for the fiberglass.
Yeah. I need somebody
Or a
that
new
has
reproduction.
I need somebody that has a line on a bunch of old used or old Mopar race parts, Jeff. To find me no, there was one guy on A-Bodies Only, but that was a long time ago. He had a complete fiberglass front clip, bumpers, hood, fenders, everything for $800.
Mm.
I may contact him because he was here. He was in Missouri. He wasn't far, but that was a fucking year ago. He had that ad, more than a year ago. He had that ad up.
Yeah,
it's still up there.
If it's still up, it could still be available.
Yeah, and he might cut me a big old honking deal on it because he hadn't been able to sell us the shit for 2 years.
That's true.
Because I'm gonna do I don't know if you guys have you watched Dust or Bust? Marcos, he was there in the pits with us. He had the GoPro with the big squirrel microphone on it.
Oh yeah.
He did a thing. He's got it's either a 73 or 74 Duster, and I think he just put a video out of driving that. But he did a really cool thing, a cool trick lightening up the bumper. It's like he took the shocks. You know how these bumpers had shocks in them? Yours should have it too. They've got big old, and they're heavy as shit. And the bumper is a chrome covering over a huge chunk of metal. I guarantee the front bumper on your Dart, if you took it off, weighs 100 pounds. Or really close to it. These fucking bumpers are crazy. Well, he cut all that center out except for in 2 places where it bolts up. And then he cut the shock pieces out of it too and just kind of slid them into where the bumper's tucked in real nice. I need to watch the video again because I'm doing it to this one. And then it's just, he just bolts a bumper up in 2 places and it has 2 places here. Testa Speed Shop. Good night. Yeah, it's probably starting to get late for people.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting off myself. I'm a little tired right now. Woke up
Yeah,
at 3 o'clock this morning to go to
early.
work.
I may end it early tonight. We've been almost 3 hours.
Yeah, just over 2.5. Not bad.
Yeah, not like we're going to do on New Year's Eve. I'm going to announce that now. Are you doing anything New Year's Eve, William? Do you have any special
Not
plans?
currently. Not currently.
Okay. Well, you need to be here because we're going to have a big New Year's Eve party in live. Yeah, we did it. You were the one. You were last year, weren't you?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. I like doing lives on New Year's Eve. I'm gonna
Definitely.
grill up some steaks here at the shop. Maybe actually drink a little bit. Get a little stupid.
You still got that skull shot glass I gave you?
Yep. I may
I still got
get me a
one.
bottle
I don't know where I put it, but I still got one somewhere.
I may get me a bottle of Patron and use that.
I need to locate that actually. I forgot where I put it.
No,
It may
well,
still be in the trunk.
one year for New Year's I bought this chocolate beer. I was like, wow, that sounds good. No, don't do it.
I don't
Those are
like beer
chocolate
anyway,
beer.
so I'm good. I've tried a couple different beers, but I just I like the strong stuff. I'm good.
Yeah, I like tequila. I've drank the hell out of tequila. But yeah, I guess we're gonna end it.
Yeah, seems like a good point to end it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up. And hopefully we start doing this every weekend again. So we'll see y'all later.
We'll see you.